The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the individual guests.
What's going on, my Ghost Squad? Welcome to the Armed Citizen Podcast Live. My name is Trey the Ghost Tactical, and I will be your tour guide on this cruise ship of, well, let's just hope the ship doesn't go down, but there's a good chance it does. We might have some issues there in the deep sea, but it is what it is. We are streaming live, as always, over on YouTube. If you're out there in the live chat, go ahead and say something. We don't know that you're out there unless you do. If you're watching this in replay or listening to this in podcast form, go ahead and leave a comment. Tell us how beautiful we are, how great this podcast is, or whatever bad shit you want to say. We take it all. We enjoy trying to get trolled. We enjoy the trolling. So troll us out there, if you will. But we also invite you to join us every Tuesday night live at the live studio audience at 7 Central on our YouTube channel. We got a lot of cool people out here that come up every week. So if you're new to the community and you're looking for some like-minded people and all that, come on out and say what's up to the live crew. This podcast is brought to you by our good friends over at HRT Tactical. Chris and my homies over there are putting out some great products. Probably the best plate carrier I've ever used. They've got war belts. They've got first aid kits. They've got smoke bomb grenades. They've got everything, man. Anything you possibly want, go check out HRT Tactical and let them know that Ghost sent you. If you want to text into the show, yes, you can text into the show. Utilize the Ghost Tactical Hotline presented by our good friends over at Valiant Dynamics. That on the I'm gonna say right back there, but it's over here. Man, if you never tried the Evolver stock, it's the best stock ever. I think Kyle might have one. I'm not sure if he does or not. I know he's seen it. We'll bring him in here in a second. But if you never tried the Evolver stock, go check it out. It's by far the best rifle stock you're ever gonna get. But that phone number is 530-364-4678. If you're a veteran, really anybody, but especially if you're a veteran and you're in that hole, you're in that place, and you're looking for some light, call me, text me, email me 24/7. I cannot give you medical advice, but I can probably walk you through some stuff. I can talk you through some stuff. More importantly, I can be there to listen if that's what you need. If you are looking to get towards some medical attention, remember two things. One, you are not alone in this fight. You have a lot of brothers out here that are willing and able to help you in any way possible. And two, the world is a much better place with you in it. So please, utilize the Veteran Crisis Hotline, 1-800-273-8255. Once again, 1-800-273-8255, or text the word TALK to 741-741. We are spotlighting, as always, the United States Marine Corps. If you have any questions on what it takes to earn the title of United States Marine, see the website marines.com. And as always, we are proud members of the Firearms Radio Network and the Self-Defense Radio Network. Go check out all your favorite pro-gun, pro-tweet podcasts over at selfdefenseradio.net and firearmsradio.net. Let's take this off of my ugly mug and say hello to the merry band of morons for tonight. From, well, it looks like he's at his cabin down by the river. From Anderson, man, that fireplace is fire, dude. I don't know, man. That is a badass fireplace. I love like old school fireplace, man. The brick fireplace, that's sweet. From Anderson Manufacturing, what's up, homie? We got our buddy Kyle here.
Yo, what up, Ghost? Thanks for having me on, man.
As always, bro. What's going on at Anderson? You guys staying busy as hell?
Oh yeah, getting ready for NRAM at the end of this month.
Whoop, whoop.
We got some little sales going on. Just pay attention to your emails if you're on our email list there. But yeah, everything's going great, man. Just a little bit of flooding out here in Kentucky. I understood you guys got some too.
Bad.
Probably about 5 minutes down the road is completely underwater.
Yeah, we're both lucky. We both live on top of mountains. So
yeah.
Like my actual house was fine, but we couldn't get out. Like we have one road that comes to our house, and we had like a 50-acre pond that was like literally river runs through it over the road. Could not get out. So luckily we had enough food and we were just chilled all weekend, but we couldn't get out till like Sunday night.
Yeah. Thank God we knew it was coming. So pretty much saying we were stocked up. But
I saw some videos of Cincinnati, bro. Like the river was crazy.
Yeah, the Bengals, Paul Brown Stadium or Paycor Stadium, whatever it is.
Yeah.
A lot of water around that. I don't think it actually got into the stadium, but pretty crazy.
It's wild. It's wild. From the weirdest state in the union, the only state that takes two people to spell four letters, from the 407. I mean, the 740. What's up, Chris? How are you doing, man?
Not much, man. Thanks for the invite. And dealing with a lot of flooding just like you guys. So,
is it bad up there? I didn't know how far north it went. Whoa, what the hell just happened to my camera? I didn't realize it went that far north.
Yeah, we got the Scioto up here that we got to deal with, but all the county's just surrounded by water right now. So the school that I went to, they've been shut down all week so far because they can't get in. So
it's crazy.
Yeah. So on top of that, flooded basements, and we've ended up
does that help business? That sounds bad, but does that help business?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Bring on natural disasters. Come on with it.
Here comes the Grinch from the 740, dude.
Yeah, the Grinch from the 740. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we sold our share of sump pumps this week.
I bet you have. Yeah. I didn't think about that. Yeah. Damn. Yeah. Yep. From Flo Rida, the man, the myth, the legend, from EAA Corp. We got Chastifer. What's up, man?
Oh, just sitting around in the backyard, enjoying this 69-degree weather and not being flooded out.
It got cold here this weekend. Like when that weather came in, it dropped. Like we were like in the low 40s. It was crazy.
Yeah, I mean it's cool. It's cool for us right now because it was, pushing 90 the last few days, but the rain, all y'all's rain finally got here, and now the cool is definitely moving in again.
Well, so is it like 75?
68 outside right now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I hope you don't have to go get a sweatshirt.
I mean, I got flip-flops and shorts on the porch. What are you talking about?
It got in the 20s last night, dude.
It feels great.
Did it really? It didn't get that cold. It was like, I think Saturday and Sunday was like mid 40s was the high. I don't know how it got down at night, but it was chilly because it's been like 70, 75 before that.
That's just God's punishment for you living too close to Ohio, Kyle.
That's fair. That's fair. Too close to that river, man. Scott said it's 80 there. What's going on EAA? You guys got anything going on right now?
I don't want to talk about what's going on right now.
We're going to talk about that. We're going to touch on that a little bit later. It's good.
We'll touch on all of that. Just getting same as Kyle, man. Just getting ready for NRAM.
Yeah.
Got all that going on, all that funness. Everything heads out the door tomorrow.
Oh, does it? Okay.
Yes. All of it.
Yeah, we're going to talk here in a little bit. For those of you that may have not heard and aren't following stuff, some tariffs hit. And I understand why. I understand the thought process of it. But there is a chance that our industry does not look the same in 6 months. We're going to talk about that here in a little bit. Standing on a corner in Winslow, Arizona. What's that?
I said maybe in 6 days. Who knows?
I was trying to be optimistic, homie. But you're right. Next week it could look dramatically different. But standing on a corner in Winslow, Arizona, such a fine sight to see. It's a Ginger, my lord, and a flatbed Ford from the Gunners of America and Fully Loaded Reviews. We have John, the Ginger, soulless bastard. What's up, man?
What's up, brother? It's Tuesday.
It is Tuesday. Special teams, special people. Tuesday. All right.
Well,
how are y'all? Are you busy as well?
Yeah, just a little bit busy. I had an emergency. Chase after I got off the phone with Chase. I had an emergency call with a bunch of people, so that was fun. But yeah, crazy times we live in, and we'll see how this goes, and we'll talk about it more later. But yeah, nothing new. It's 88 degrees here. It's sunny. We could use some rain. I got CanCon this weekend.
We got plenty of it if you want it.
Yeah, and then it's supposed to hit 101 this weekend at CanCon. So I think Paul might have another heart attack, and I might have to drag him. So Chase, heads up, let Paul know it's going to be 101.
Just leave him out there.
Heat. Pigs like heat, so his swine heart should be fine.
Yeah.
Just throwing it out there.
If he falls out, just leave him there. It's fine.
Okay.
Just bring him with you to Knoxville. Be fine.
Put him in the box, ship him back.
Just weekend at Bernie's it. Just chill. He'll be fine. He won't smell too bad. Can you imagine Paul's? Oh my God. Doing a weekend at Bernie's with Paul would be so fucking amazing.
He's got to wear his John Lennon sunglasses, though.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Take him out to dinner, maybe 2, maybe 3 events that night.
3, maybe 4 events, you know. Yeah. Yeah, it's been a crazy 2 days. Yeah, it's been crazy. Well, I mean, for us on our side of it started Friday afternoon. Started getting nuts. Came into work. I went to my office Monday morning, and it was insane the amount of orders that were coming in over the weekend. Our warehouse is still working on orders from 10 o'clock yesterday morning. So it's insane how people are panic buying right now, which is good for us. But it's going to be interesting. We're going to talk about that here in a little bit. What was I going to say? We have some brackets, the championship. So, by the way, I'm sorry to say this, Chase, and I know that you had a rough weekend. I understand that with Auburn. What I will say, though, is for a person that really didn't give a shit about whoever won it at this point, I enjoyed all the games this weekend, the Final Four games and the championship game last night. I had nothing invested in any of those teams. I was just a fan of basketball. There was some great basketball played over the weekend. So congrats to Houston. They almost pulled it out over Florida. I thought they were going to win a thing, man, but Florida's good. Florida's damn good.
They're the freaking comeback team this year, man. That's what they do.
Yeah, they're very, very good.
SEC knows ball.
Yeah, I mean, and it's one of those things. I think that steel hardens steel, right? And coming out of the SEC, where every fucking game this year was against basically even the worst of the SEC were still great teams. So when you come out of that schedule and you're still like Auburn and Florida are still 1 seeds coming out of the SEC, which we're biased, obviously, because, well, at least me, Kyle, and Chase are biased. We're an SEC country. It was a historic year in SEC basketball. Florida was good, man. Florida's very, very good. I will say this. I've become a pretty big fan of their coach. If you watched the game did you guys watch the game last night? Was I the only one that watched? I know Chase was watching it, but
at
the beginning of the game, like, they were calling some shit on Florida that iffy, to say the least, and the coach was getting pissed. Florida's coach was getting pissed, but he kept his head. And I think that the players saw him keep his head, and they kept their head. And they're a good basketball team. Houston's a good basketball team. Auburn and Duke, fantastic. Honest to God, I would say that Auburn and Duke were the best 2 teams that I saw during the regular season all year long, and neither one of them made it to the finals. So go figure. That's how good basketball was. But yeah, it was great. Congrats to Florida SEC bringing home another natty. Good for them. They're a damn good basketball team. So it kind of sucks that college basketball is over with, but luckily my favorite time of the year is baseball season is now in the spotlight. So there we go. Yep, 7 of the top 10s this year are SEC teams. Oh, who's number 1? Who's number 1? Oh, that's right. That's right. Woo Pig. Actually going to be going to a bunch of their games. Now that I have weekends off, we're going to go up to see a lot of the Arkansas games. Being number 1, Texas is number 2, LSU's 3, Tennessee's like 5, Georgia's like 6. Like 7 of the top 10 teams, and I think Auburn's like number 11. So like 8 of the top 11 schools in the nation are SEC. Go figure. Where's the Green Troll? I did not give him a link. So he's not going to be with us anymore. I got tired of his ass. He tried to turn into the Clover Show, and it's just, I'm not going to put up with that bullshit. No, he
did.
I'm going to talk here for 40 minutes about a 50 BMG.
Yeah. Well, it could be worse. He could be talking.
Well, you see why the greatest caliber is the 30-40 Krag, and Trapdoor Springfield is the only correct answer.
The sad thing is I think that Chase is actually more fun than Clover is. He just doesn't show it all the time.
I mean, I like a lot of that stuff, but I'm not a weirdo about it.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. You don't show it as much as he does. Yeah.
Speaking of brackets, you want to talk about the brackets?
If you would have let me do my job, you dumbass.
Damn it.
He was segueing.
I was segueing.
Wow.
Hey,
wow.
Not a seg you redneck. A segue.
Hey, let's skip the bracket. It's time for the pony polls.
Yeah, I forgot to do this again.
Oh, dude.
Bro, it's been nuts.
He almost forgot to do the show. What are you talking about?
Homie, so I'm not shitting you. Like, me and Chase are talking this afternoon. He goes, hey, you doing a show tonight? I'm like, oh, shit, it's Tuesday. Yep, I better go set that shit up. It's been that crazy. Not as crazy as it's been for Chase, but it's been pretty crazy.
From here on out, on Wednesday mornings, I'm going to just send you 3 questions for the pony polls. I'm going to load them up for you.
Oh, shit. I'm in. I can do that. All right. God, I'm so sorry.
I'll feel cool because I'll have a task.
Do you have a question that you want to throw out there as the pony poll for tonight, just right now to the chat and to the panel?
Yeah. Ask the audience what did you ask me before the show.
Whoa.
Hey, there's women and children out in the audience.
No, there's not. in the audience that I do, if I love you guys, let's just be honest. They'd probably enjoy that. You have to be a little dark and sick to watch my show. So, let's not go there though. What you got? What you got for us? What's the pony poll for today? The live pony poll brought to you by Anderson Manufacturing.
The live pony poll. Greatest rap. Who is the greatest rapper of all time?
Are we talking like, can it be groups or does it have to be like the individual rapper?
Well,
will you take like Public Enemy? Will you allow NWA? Will you allow? I mean, you know what I'm saying?
I'll allow groups because Bone Thugs and Harmony would be a good one.
Beasties.
Can I throw mine out there first so nobody steals it?
Go for it. Yeah,
Chris, we'll go with you first.
Yeah.
Nas. Nas is
you're going
Nas.
Nas. If you're talking about just straight up talent, man, Nas is tough to beat, man.
Chris is a big Illmatic guy. I remember that.
Nas is a good call. Ginger.
Probably my all-time. It's definitely in my top 5 all-time favorite albums of any genre. I love that album.
Nas, yeah, that's a good one. I think even like you talk about Jay-Z and you talk Eminem, you talk Snoop, you talk all these guys. Even like Nas is like revered by those guys. Like that's when you know you're pretty good, you know.
Dude, I used to listen to One Mic on repeat on patrol, dude. I know you're probably not supposed to be listening to music on patrol, but all he needed was one mic.
Bro, we had Walkmans back then in my day, so we couldn't just carry a Walkman around. So
they were a cassette Walkman. Let's make that real clear.
No. Well, we had the CDs, but they skipped too much on patrol and humping, so we had to go the cassettes they wouldn't skip. Can you imagine patrol with a fucking a CD fucking Walkman on your war belt? Hell yeah.
I got any skip, man. It's fine.
with the big ass headphones with a big ass cord hanging on them. Hell yeah. Those are the days. Yeah, we didn't have fucking iPods like you baby boomers, you.
We had the iPods. You had one camp that was iPod and one camp that was Zune. You guys remember Zune?
Dude, circa 2007, I had a Zune for yeah, I remember.
I did. I was always an iPod guy.
Zune you could get videos, and then iPod followed up shortly after that.
That was it. That was the whole reason.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love my Zune. That was awesome.
Dude, what happened to Zune?
Microsoft ruined
Apple.
everything. That's what.
Apple.
Gosh.
And Apple was better. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
That was the one thing Microsoft did better at the beginning was Zune.
Yeah,
At the
Zunes
beginning,
were tight.
yeah. I never had one. I never had one.
It was like a
Ginger.
Dreamcast. It was before its time.
Oh, okay. It was the BlackBerry of MP3s.
Literally.
Yes, literally.
Yeah. Ginger, best rapper of all time. Rapper / group of all time.
If you say Hanson, I'm gonna kick you in the head.
If he says who?
Hanson, because that's his thing.
I'm gonna combine a group and a rapper.
He's the same Machine Gun Kelly is what he's gonna say.
No, I'm gonna combine a group and a rapper. I'm gonna go with Eminem and D12 because Eminem is part of D12, so I'm putting them
Eminem
together.
was D12. Let's just be honest.
Well, yes, that's facts.
I don't even think 50 wasn't even in D12, was he? I think he wasn't part of the project.
No, it was just Eminem and a bunch of his friends.
Yeah, what's that one guy?
Bizarre.
Yeah, Bizarre. Yeah. He was the only one that was like kind of made it besides them, you know.
I don't know. I like Swifty. Or I don't know.
So you're saying Eminem.
Yeah, I'm saying Eminem, but I wanted to throw a shout out to D12 because that was like the fun part of Eminem. I think that whole thing was just a blast, and some good songs came out of that.
Yeah, there was. No, that was good. I mean, I think that it's very easy to say Eminem. I think Eminem is hands down the most talented lyricist that rap's ever seen. Yeah. Chase, what about you?
I mean, we're leaving out the GOAT. Let's be honest.
MC Hammer.
Ice.
Oh, okay. I mean, it's tough. It's okay. We're gonna bring this up in a second.
No.
He is gonna come up after this for a second because I saw some last night that pissed me off. Anyways, go ahead.
Oh, nice, dude. That's a tough one. Like, because there's so many subgenres that I like.
Yeah.
But honestly, for me, it really comes down. It's a hard decision between Ice Cube and Eminem. I don't really know which one to pick.
Yep. No, I get it. Yep.
If I had to pick one, I'd probably say Ice Cube, just because he's one of the OGs.
Yep. For me, I'm gonna let Kyle answer last since it's his question. For me, Eminem is my favorite rapper of all time. I don't think he's the greatest. And I'm saying this because of it's going to come down to two groups for me that changed it and in their own separate way made rap what it is today. Beastie Boys and NWA. Beastie Boys brought rap to suburban white America. NWA really brought it to white suburban America and showed what gangster rap was. I'm going to say NWA, not because of what they were amazingly at, but you think about in that group was Dre and Cube at 20 years old, 19 years old. I agree with Chase. I think that M's my favorite rapper. I think Cube is the best rapper. And I'm going to throw in NWA saying NWA was the most important. Them and Beastie Boys, in my opinion, are the two most important. I want to go NWA as my final decision.
If we're going groups, wholeheartedly NWA.
If we're going individuals, I'm gonna say M. I think that M is the best individual rapper of all time. But if Kyle's allowing groups, I'm gonna throw NWA out there. Kyle, who's yours?
Well, I obviously think Eminem is the GOAT, but I also don't want to follow suit with everybody. So I'll say, have you guys heard of Little Dicky?
No.
Yo, Little Dicky's fire.
He can spit, dude.
Really?
Yeah. And I'm kind of sticking with the white rapper genre right there. But dude, Lil Dicky's one that slept on because a lot of his rap shit is funny shit. And people don't take him seriously. But
you go check him out then.
He's like a Jewish white kid from like a middle to upper class family. Like he's completely different.
He's the Beastie Boys if he was individual rapper.
Yeah. So
have y'all heard of a guy named Ren? He's a British guy. He like kind of sings and raps. REN. I've been listening a lot to him lately.
Yes.
I've been listening to him a lot. He's pretty talented as well.
Yes, he is.
In a different way. It's kind of a different vibe with him, but I've been listening to quite a bit of him lately. I've enjoyed
the British rap definitely has like it's like a genre of itself, dude.
It is.
It's got a very poetic flow to it.
It's kind of like that. Yeah, I'm gonna say the bridge stuff that like M is very good at. Also, da 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 da
British
da 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 da. You know, it's
their
rhythmic.
cadence of how they speak is it's very it really comes out in how they rap, I guess is the way of putting it. It's the cadence.
Yeah, for sure. I think we lost half our audience talking about rap, but it's okay.
Hey, that's what you get when you let me do the pony roll,
bro. I mean, you guys know most of you guys that know me. My music is all over the place. I listen to it all. I was listening to Andrea Bocelli the other night, little tenor stuff with man. Come on, voice, man. I listen to it all, man. Listen to everything.
I hit the old iPod shuffle to mess you up.
Oh yeah, my iPod shuffle will put somebody in a straitjacket. Like they're like, "What the fuck is up with this guy?" I just enjoy music, and I enjoy good music no matter where it comes from. Just if it's good, I'm listening to it. Missy Elliott. I'd tell you what, Lil Kim back in the day was pretty fucking good too. Lil Kim was legit. Missy Elliott was good, but I think Lil Kim was better back in the day.
On the iPod shuffle shit, dude. That shit drives me insane. Like I'll be trying to do something, and some Christmas shit will come on. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah, Christmas in July, baby. Let's roll. Got it. Fucking
it kills the vibes. Kills the vibes when you try to like do stuff. I don't know.
You go from seven finger death punch to fucking Rudolph, you know?
5-finger death punch.
I don't even know, but I just got introduced.
He's talking about his private time now.
Man, maybe I should have just asked the question.
Well, here's the thing. Like, I just got introduced to them not too long ago, like a year or so ago, and they got some good shit. And I understand. I'm not sure if they are veterans or they're very veteran friendly. I can't remember the whole story with them, but yeah, no, I heard they got some good music. I enjoy their music.
They were vet friendly, but the lead singer's a giant tool bag and has like ran everybody out of the place. Yeah.
No. Chase and I were talking about this last week. I was never a Slipknot fan. I can listen to some Slipknot music, but I was never like a big fan. And then I saw whatever the lead singer's name is, like doing Corey his Taylor. Own stuff acoustically.
Corey motherfucking Taylor.
There you go. Yeah, I saw him doing some stuff acoustically, and I was like, oh shit, that fucker can actually like legit sing. Like, so now my appreciation for Slipknot has gotten better because like listening to him sing acoustically, that's where you find out if someone can really sing, and that dude can flat out sing.
Oh, he can sing. That's what I was like, oh, go check out Stone Sour.
Exactly. And I did. And thank you, by the way.
Yep.
Anyway, so reason why I brought up who brought up Vanilla Ice? I know it was jokingly. So, but here's the thing. I'm a big Vanilla Ice guy.
Same.
I'm not afraid to admit that. I'm not afraid to admit that. I was watching something last night, or I was looking up something last night, and I did a thing for like 90s one-hit wonders, right? And I came across like one of the big, not just some John on, Chris from the 740, no offense, but like this, like, I don't know if it was Rolling Stone, but it was like a major publication, right? And they did like the top 50 90s one-hit wonders. If you had to guess where Ice Ice Baby fell on that list, regardless of what you think of Vanilla Ice, Ice Ice Baby, is there anyone in the world that doesn't know that song? Where do you think that came in as in the top list of the 90s one-hit wonders? What do you guys, just throw it out there?
How many were there?
50.
Was it like top 50?
Top 50.
Well, knowing this crap they do now, probably like 47.
I would
like top 2 or 3.
I would think number 1.
Right? I would say top 3, right? Top 3.
Yeah.
2 of the top 3, in my opinion, was Jump Around by House of Pain and Ice Ice Baby. Everyone knows those fucking songs. No matter where you are in the world, you know those songs. Jump Around was number 26, and no, I'm sorry, it was number 29, and Ice Ice Baby was number 36. Who the fuck is doing those lists?
What was number 1?
Oh, I bet you I can go find that list again.
It was probably someone too young.
Probably.
If we keep talking about this.
Were we chasing the waterfalls at number 1?
Oh, it was Cosmopolitan magazine.
Oh, well, no fucking one.
Number 1 was You Gotta Be by Desiree. You gotta be wise. You gotta be stronger.
That's
number 2 is Two Princes by Spin Doctors. Good song, but come on. Number 3 is Macarena. Number 4, All For You by Sister Hazel. What?
All for you.
What? How about have you ever heard of Send Me On My Way by Rusted Root?
No.
Number 5. But yet, Walking in Memphis, number 6.
I consider myself a 90s music aficionado, but
Same.
Rusted Root, I'm out. Never.
House of Pain, Jump Around is like number 29, and Ice Ice Baby is number 36. You can go suck a dick. Just throwing it out there. So thanks for bringing up Vanilla Ice, because that really put me over the edge last night.
That's terrible. As Mr. Barkley would say, that's terrible.
Matt's out there with RTT Guns and Gear, which apparently he's having some fun times the last few days. I'll tell you what, Matt, if you want to, I don't know if you want to or not, I'll put the link out there in the chat. If you want to jump in, you're more than welcome to talk about what's going on in your world.
The last time you put the link in the chat, Chicago Mike showed up and started talking to Chase about EAA.
It's okay, because I can control who actually gets into the panel. They can sit in the green room all they want. But if Chicago Mike shows up, his ass is getting on, because that'd be good TV right there.
He never shows up anymore. I feel offended.
Wait, if we say it one more time, he'll show up like last week.
Let's all do it together. If we do it in unison, he'll show up.
Chicago Mike.
It's like Candyman. We got to do it 3 times, or just let it roll.
Beetlejuice. Yeah, we'll see here.
Black and Mild, Popeye's chicken.
Wow.
I was hoping it would pop up.
No.
I'm still trying to figure out what NWA stands for. Chase, can you tell me?
Nazis with an attitude?
How'd you know? Not white anymore.
Not white anymore. It's fair. It's fair. Speaking of brackets, we had a national championship game last night. We also had the national championship of ammo that ended over the weekend. If you guys haven't been watching over the last month, it's been fun, but the national championship, if you will, was 9mm versus 5.56. and I believe I was the only one who said it was be 9mm in a slaughter. Everyone else thought it would be close, but I want to bring Ginger in and let you announce who is the man, the myth, and the legend of the calibers.
Well, I hate to say it out loud, but Trey was right. 9mm 1. Do you want to know? Do we want to know the numbers?
I said 85 or above. I thought at least 85%. What is it?
92-8.
Oh my God!
What?
Holy shit!
Has that even changed since last week?
It was like 99-0.5 last week, so it's changed a little bit.
Wow. I mean, I had 9 winning, but not like that.
Well, the only reason why I went on that limb is I figured the same people that have been voting 9mm is the same people that are voting for 5.56. So they had to come down one of the two. They couldn't vote for both at that point. So I figured the 9 would get them. God damn it, the vast majority of the votes. And I guess
so you're basically saying AR guys don't vote. We've pinpointed the problem in the firearm industry. AR guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What it is AR guys are going to jump ship immediately to a pistol caliber, apparently.
Or that.
I think what happened is G-Webs went out there and had 1,000 different alt accounts, and obviously we know that he's voting for 9mm. I mean, that's his favorite caliber of all time. What's up, Matt? How you doing, bro?
There he is.
What's up, Matt?
I've heard you've had some interesting times.
Hey guys, how you doing? Am I coming through okay?
Yeah, loud and clear, homie.
Got you good.
I have had some great times.
Any updates or anything right now, or are you still trying to fight the power?
I don't know. So since Saturday, maybe Friday even, but basically for the last 3 days, 2-3 days, about every 4 to 5 hours, I've had a video taken down. I've gotten a warning, or I've gotten a strike. Up until this morning.
Wow. How many strikes have you gotten so far over the weekend?
2.
So, oh shit, you're dangerously close then.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I had 2 strikes. During the fight against one of them, the video was still down. They still took the video down, but took the strike away. And from talking to Clover, it sounds like maybe that was because it was an older video. Like it was like a 7-year-old video. So I had 2 strikes. 1 got taken away. I have 1 strike now. 5 videos taken down, and another 3 or 4 videos that got changed to not safe for children. Right.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, it sucks. That sucks.
And so the last 2-3 days of my life has been doing my best to save almost 13 years worth of work.
Yep. Well, get everything backed up at least, maybe?
The vast majority of it is. So when I post, I've been posting to Rumble a lot, but all of my videos automatically get posted to Odyssey. But also, while I don't have the raw footage, like all of my camera work stuff, I have each video on a hard drive.
That's good.
But not dating back. I mean, only dating back a few years.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Well, hopefully you're not going to need it. You can't post anything right now, can you? I don't think.
No, as a matter of fact, I was supposed to post a video tomorrow for my schedule, and I was actually kind of shocked I'm able to do this. But yeah, I can't post for another week. and this strike doesn't come off for 90 days. So I've gone through preemptively. I've gone through and did a mass change to all of my descriptions just to make sure there's nothing in one of those
links and all that shit.
Yeah, from a decade ago when things were different, right? I went through and did a mass description change from every public video that's out there. I've changed a couple titles, so I'm doing what I can.
Yeah,
but it's unfortunately it's kind of all on YouTube at this point.
Do they give you any kind of a timeline of when they're going to make a decision on the other strike, or is it not going away?
Oh, it has already been.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, they've already come to a decision on that.
Okay, all right. Yeah, man. I've been busy and I've been kind of in my own little world. So I've been learning about this today from Chris and Ginger and Kyle and everyone. So I'm glad you stopped in. I want to give you a chance to kind of tell people what's going on. Or are you going to be posting still on Rumble or anything, or are you just taking a hiatus from posting right now?
I will not post a Rumble this week, so I'll be able to post again next week.
Okay, all right.
Because it's just a week this time, because that other strike got taken away.
Yeah.
So it's just a week. I don't want to post the video that I would post tomorrow. I don't want to post on Rumble tomorrow and then a week later on YouTube for fear that it's not going to get the traction that it should. So I'm just going to take the week off of posting. I'm in the middle of remaking a lot of thumbnails, and making sure that there's nothing in thumbnails that may break the rules that are not very clear.
Yeah, no, it's definitely muddy water, man. It has been for a long, long time.
And it's one of those things where, like, I've told a bunch of the people that work at YouTube, just tell me what I did. Tell me the thing, because then I will avoid doing that thing. But it's always this umbrella of, like, you may have broken a rule within this umbrella, and it's like, well, that's not freaking helpful at all.
Well, the problem with what YouTube is got on that side of things is when you call, you email, you talk to someone about this stuff, they don't know or understand firearm stuff. I mean, there's a couple that kind of do, but there's not a lot. There's not like a firearm division where they actually have people that know firearms. So even if they were to say, well, it's this, they don't even know what they're talking about. So you can't necessarily have a conversation, because even if you're trying to tell them that's not what this is, they don't know. They don't know what's going on, which is really frustrating.
Yeah, like one of the videos was my top 3 firearms, or top 5 firearms of 2024, in which Anderson got actually 2 spots at the top of the. They got an honorable mention.
I didn't bring you in to kiss Kyle's ass. I'm just kidding.
That's why they pulled it down. They're a bunch of.
They said the poverty pony can't have 2 spots. What the hell?
But like Chris, Clover was saying that he said something to me about, like, the rules being vague enough in order to be able to have a gray area of context, right? I'm like, cool, except for they never want to hear our side of context.
And even if they do, they don't understand the context.
Yeah. Because, like, I posted links to Anderson Manufacturing, to Ross Martin, to EAA, to every company, Radical Defense, all the companies that were in that top 5. But in the context of things, and as I said in the video, it is so you can gather more information. Here these things are. So in the context of things, it's obvious that I was not making sales.
Yeah,
but
they don't
want to hear that.
No, they know
you do always make that clear in your videos. I will say that, like, you're like, I'm not trying to sell anything. Yep. RTT does not carry firearms, blah blah blah. Like,
yep,
you're pretty good at that. And you said you've been doing this for 11 years. Like, is this the first? Go ahead.
I've been doing it for almost 13. In September will be 13 years, and this is the second time that I've come close to getting my channel taken down.
Yeah, I had about 4 or 5 years ago. I had some issues and got straightened out. It sucks though. It sucks because when you're trying to, I mean, there's some people out there that are just blatantly don't give a shit about the game, right? And there's some of us that are blatantly trying to play the game. I understand that we're doing this, that YouTube allows us to have our platform here. And I appreciate the hell of that. I try to play the game within the guidelines and all that. And still sometimes it's not enough. So it's frustrating. Like I said, it's very, very frustrating when you know that you can't have a conversation with anyone that actually knows what you're talking about. They know policy, but they don't understand, like you were saying, they don't understand lingo. They don't understand vocabulary. They don't understand definitions in our world. They don't understand the firearm world. And they think that, oh, this is this. No, it's not. Like, it's not, you know, it's not what you think it is or whatever. We had a discussion. I had explained what a barrel shroud was. Oh, that's a silencer. No, it's not. It's a barrel shroud.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like a silencer. I don't care what it looks like. It's not. You know, stuff like that. It's very frustrating.
I do want to say
I've noticed, and I was talking to Matt about this a few weeks ago. Like when I was uploading videos, in the description, if you put the word gun, if you put shooting or shooter, that it'll go yellow. And then when you ask for manual review, it'll come back. But if you change gun to tool and then re-upload it,
or toilet paper or whatever,
and ask for a manual review, boom, it goes right in. So, but I had like 3 videos where it was just a matter of changing a couple words in the description of the video.
Yeah,
they turned them green.
There's trigger words. There's trigger words that the algorithm picks up. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't even upload a description until after it goes green. So whenever I upload a video, you know how YouTube will choose like a frame of the video as the thumbnail. So whatever it chooses. The title will say, like, let's say it's a Anderson. Let's say it's the Kiger, right? 9C Pro. The title will just say Kiger in all lowercase letters. It's a freaking horse, you know. And then the description will only have my notice in it, which says, notice RTT Guns and Gear does not sell firearms as for educational purposes, blah, 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 blah. The opinions expressed in this video are mine and mine alone, not of the manufacturer, blah, 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 all that. And every time I upload, it goes directly yellow. But it goes green a day later after I ask for the review. And then once it's green, then I go through and I put the actual description in, and I do the thumbnail, and I do the whole title and all the tags and all that stuff.
Is the word firearm in your disclaimer?
I'm on my phone. Otherwise, I would show you. I would look.
I bet you if you say we do not sell firearms or whatever, that word firearm probably is the one that's triggering the yellow every single time.
Yeah, but it always goes green. I mean, I have 2 years, almost 2 years worth of green. Like,
no, I'm just saying that that trigger word for it automatically go yellow. I guarantee it's that firearm word. That's all it is. If you say that we don't sell pool supplies, it would probably never go yellow. I'm dead serious. Like, and people who's watched your channel, they know what they're getting into. You know, we do not sell pool supplies at RTT Guns and Gear. I would do it as a joke and just test it out or something. You know, we don't sell lollipops. You know,
I might do that. Here in a couple weeks. I do want to say something when it comes to this, though.
Yeah.
I have talked to a number of people that are completely unrelated to my channel.
Yeah.
That have been an absolute fucking saints. I have talked to, I'm not going to go through all the names, but, one of them being Clover, working some things out with me, John Patton, Mike Mills. I mean, some of these guys that are, they super nice dudes. Reno May actually reached out to me and asked and got me connected with one of the main guys at Leviathan, not to sign up with Leviathan, but just because they are in that problem solving realm. And, I had like an hour and a half conversation with him today. So, but there's been a ton of people that have reached out and been like, how can I help? So that is amazing.
Yeah, there's a lot of and people that know me, and people that don't like me still know me. There's a lot of motherfuckers in our genre that I don't like. They don't like me. I think there's some douchebags out there in our genre, and I'm probably one of them. But I will say this: the cool thing about our little firearm community is when one person's down, it's all good, man. Like, we may not get along, but I think there's enough respect within our community of all the creators that everyone kind of knows each other, either directly or indirectly, but everyone knows each other. And if one person's down, it's nice to see everyone kind of rally around them. And that's what I do appreciate about this is it's a pretty tight-knit community. So that's pretty cool. Real quick, we are going to let you talk a bit more, but I got a question for you. The pony poll this week from Kyle was best rapper of all time. We've all answered now. Matt, you got who's the best rapper of all time?
Does it have to be an individual or can it be a group?
No, it can't be a group because mine was NWA. So
okay, Beastie Boys.
That was who I was my second one. Yeah. So yeah, I was struggling between Beastie and NWA, but yeah, no, 100%. I ain't mad at you. Little Tupac.
Yeah, they're the first ones that come to mind.
Yeah. They're the first ones that them and Run DMC. I think that Run DMC I heard probably a little bit before Beasties, but when License to Ill came on, like the album came out, I was like, I found my people because I love punk music. And you're talking about punk and rap because people don't realize that Beasties played the instruments. Like they were a punk band before they went into rap. They just weren't very good at punk, so they just started rapping. But they were fantastic musicians as well.
And License to Ill is the first rap album to go number one.
It was fantastic album. But yeah, no, I ain't mad at you over the Beasties. I was right there with you. If you had to go a solo rapper, who would it be? And I'm a little upset that my homie Too Short didn't get enough love in this panel, by the way.
Biatch.
I love me some Too Short.
Solo.
So I knew that License to Ill and Raising Hell both came out in '86.
Yeah.
But I didn't know who was first. So anyway, just a little
I want to say, well, actually, I think Raising Hell was first, but Beasties grew faster, I think.
Yeah, Raising Hell came out in May, and then License to Ill dropped in November. But God
it
damn,
just
man.
Blew up. It blew
two badass albums, right?
Absolutely.
Back to back.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so if you had to pick a solo rapper,
I'm drawing a blank, dude.
It's okay. We all kind of said M. M was up there for a lot of us, and how can you not say M? I'm surprised Jay-Z wasn't brought up. Cube was brought up. No one brought up Pac either. Like Pac's one of my favorites.
Lil Wayne.
But no love for Jay-Z, no love for Kendrick Lamar. And of all the current guys, I think Kendrick's incredibly talented.
Yeah, Kendrick, he is.
I don't even know who any of those people are, though.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I mean, I know who Jay-Z is, but you could have him playing right now, and I'd be like, I have no idea who that is. I know who Kendrick Lamar. I know the name. I wouldn't know him if he was sitting next to me, though.
All right. So, would you say that would you say that of the people where does Vanilla Ice rank up there for you? Because I'm a big Vanilla Ice fan.
I wouldn't call it. So So Vanilla Ice for me would be, he would rank in a different category, not of best, but when you talk about like legendary people that like made a certain amount of music for him, it was basically one song that just will go down in history. He tops that chart, right? He tops that list.
I think MC Hammer is one of those guys. I think
MC Hammer's one of those guys. I was thinking Tone Loc.
Tone Loc
is right.
Tone Loc was a good one. Biz Markie. People don't realize how big Biz Markie was there for a while.
Yeah. So, but I'm also 48 years old. I mean, you're right there with me. You know, so it's those 80s and early 90s rappers that come to mind when
Cool Mo D, if you don't remember Cool Mo D.
Cool Mo D, yeah.
Back in the day. I'm showing my age now. Yeah, it's just one of those things that was Kyle that brought that up, and there's so many good ones. There were so many good ones, and there were so many people that were important for many different reasons. Was it Sugar Hill Gang? Didn't get brought up, but without Sugar Hill Gang, is there rap? I don't know. You know,
sure.
I don't know.
I'm surprised Chase didn't say Kanye.
So early Kanye, man. I'm just gonna throw it out there. Like I'll let Chase come in with his 2 cents, but DMX was okay. Early Kanye was shit that no one had ever heard before.
Hey, Jesus Walk scared me through some shit. I'm not gonna lie,
bro. Early Kanye, man, when he was still just Kanye and
Through the Wire.
My God, dude, he was as good as anybody there ever was. Like legitimately, he was as good as anybody there ever was. For about a 3-year span, he was amazing, and then he just got fucking weird.
I've just been such a metalhead my entire life that, like, even when some of these pioneers of early rap, and I know their names, but even when some of these pioneers of early rap, even as individual artists or groups, were happening, I mean, I was listening to, Ride the Lightning, and I was listening to Master of Puppets, and I was listening to, Maiden, and then moving on to like early Pantera and Megadeth, and I mean, these are the things that were jamming through my boombox, my cassette tape,
Walkman, baby,
Walkman, yeah.
The ghetto blaster, if you will. We remember.
Did you ever listen to 7 Finger Death Punch, dude?
You, dude. Fuck you. I call them. I'm not I like rock, but I'm not a huge like heavy metal, metal guy. I got introduced to 5 Finger Death Punch a year or 2 ago, and I really started to enjoy stuff. But I called him 7 Finger Death Punch earlier, and he's not going to let me live it down. But
they're one of my favorite bands.
They're good. They're actually
5 Finger Death Punch. I also got to meet them.
Oh yeah,
yeah. There was a show at the arena, the sports field here, Kino sports field here, and at the time I knew somebody that worked at the radio station, and I got in with them backstage, and got to hang out with 5 Finger Death Punch for a little while, and freaking super cool dudes.
Yeah, I'm a big ska reggae punk guy. And I was talking with John a couple weeks ago. There's a big reggae fest coming, I think in June. And he's like, are they starting the concert at like 10 o'clock at night? And I was like, I don't know. He goes, yeah, don't come. It's going to be 120 degrees at 8 o'clock still. He said, it probably won't be enjoyable. So I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. But I was coming out there to see John also. But fuck, he said he didn't want to see me. So and there's a big reggae fest, I think in June.
Typical gingers.
So fucking gingers, man. I'm telling you.
June? Well, yeah, it's going to be hot here in June.
Yeah, I know that going into it, but he was like, don't come. I'm like, okay.
Oh, no, come. Definitely come.
So Disturbed, I'm not a big Disturbed fan. I will say, so my favorite song of all time, not by Disturbed, but my favorite song of all time, Simon and Garfunkel's Sound of Silence. I will say that I don't like people trying to cover that song, except for Disturbed. That I'm not saying it's as good as Simon and Garfunkel, because I don't think it ever will be, but holy shit, that is that's probably the best cover of a song I've ever heard.
I'll say it from a younger generation, I think it's better than Simon and Garfunkel.
I grew up with something with my dad, right? So like,
Yeah.
that's just a song
No,
that
I
I'll
get
always
it.
treasure. But that's the best cover of any song I've ever heard, hands down. It's amazing.
I think that from a musical and talent point of view, not taking anything away from Simon and Garfunkel, I also grew up, listening to that.
Yeah.
But I think that from a lead vocalist range and the dynamics of the song, I think that the Disturbed one is a better song. I think it's just a better produced, more range, more dynamic song than the Simon and Garfunkel one.
No, I would agree with that. And I'll tell you what's even better than that version is so one of the best vocalists I enjoy is a guy named Miles Kennedy. He sings with Slash, his band now. I don't know if you guys know who Miles Kennedy is, but one of the best voices out there. And Miles joined Disturbed down in Houston a couple years ago. It's on YouTube, and they did it. And Miles Kennedy sat in and did harmony with him, the high end of high ends, and it's amazing. Go check that out. It's unbelievable. But yeah, it's a great one. Yeah, go ahead.
Talking about punk bands.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
a huge punk fan.
I love you.
I got a cool story. And I want to talk about, because I've never really talked about this live on air. So Mike McLaughlin, he was the original lead singer of the Dropkick Murphys.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he quit the Murphys, he started a band called the Street Dogs.
The Street
I don't know
Dogs.
if you've ever listened to them or not.
Come on now.
Yeah. So my buddy had got us tickets to this place called The Basement. It doesn't exist anymore. So it was next door to this really big venue where they have concerts. And it was at a bar right next to that venue, but it was down in the basement. That's why they called it The Basement.
That's the
he
best.
got
Those are the best places, man. Yeah.
I've been to the basement.
Yeah, it only holds a couple hundred people. So
those are the best kind.
he had got us tickets to see the Street Dogs. So we got there right when the opening band started. I'm sitting at the bar drinking. I was drinking Heineken that night. I don't even know how the hell I remember that. And this guy comes
if you
up.
remember drinking, it wasn't a good enough night. I'm just saying.
Guy comes up and sits right down next to me, and I look over and it's fucking Mike McLaughlin sitting next to me.
No shit. Just chilling.
And we sat there and drank through all the opening bands, and then he went up on stage. Did you know it was him?
Did you know it was him?
Oh yeah, because I was a huge Murphys fan.
Okay.
But I liked him better when McLaughlin was with him than I did after the new singer came in. So, but I've been to hundreds of concerts. I mean, I've seen everybody.
Same.
But that was the coolest night ever to get. And we never even talked about music because he was a firefighter in Boston. That was like his full-time job.
Yeah.
So we just sat and talked about like the fire department he worked at.
That's
and I mean, just the coolest night ever to just sit there with it. Because I thought, I think he's an icon. I mean, when it comes to punk music. So it was really super cool to sit and just hang out with him for a couple hours like that.
We should.
I've noticed a lot of guys in the music industry, especially you get 80s and 90s rock. There's a lot of cool. Like I got to hang out with Theory of a Dead Man for a while. So I used to do security. There was a big venue back home, and they had their regular security. And then when big national acts would come in, they would call up me and a buddy of mine, and we would run security for the talent, for the actual show. And I got to meet David Allan Coe. He's an asshole.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, he's a dick.
I can see
that. But Theory of a Dead Man was cool. Who else? It was Mudvayne. Mudvayne, they were pretty cool, and Mushroom Head, those guys were pretty cool. But these are all like, rock and metal bands. I don't even know if you guys ever listen to them or not.
I've heard of them. I wouldn't know a song. I wouldn't know a song.
I know all of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Chase,
Seen
big
several of
metalhead.
them. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want to talk
That's
about if you want to talk to one of the coolest artists you'll ever have a chance to talk to, and he'll play a show like, well, he was playing shows. He's kind of been on hiatus for years now, but would then immediately jump down out of the club to the bar, just hang out with the whole crowd. Was Hank 3. Hank Williams III would literally play his hellbilly shit. He'd play his punk shit. He'd play his doom, sludge, hardcore shit, and then he'd just fucking jump off. He'd play a 3 or 4 hour show, and then he'd just jump down and hang out with everybody.
Talking about a talented
amazing.
motherfucker, by the way, a talented motherfucker.
100%. I mean, he sounds just like his granddad when he wants to.
Yep.
And
then
then,
he can not
and
sound
then
like
he
his
flips
granddad.
on like, just like hardcore fucking crazy
Yeah.
punk and like doom shit. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know who he was. Like when I was like a late teenager, early 20s, I guess, like Super Joint Ritual became a thing. And it was like a super group. It's kind of like Down. It was one of the big super groups. And like this dude was on a fucking bass just going to town. This was like, I don't know, 2001, 2002, something like that. And I'm like, people are like, oh yeah, that's fucking Hank Williams III. I'm like, fucking who? It's Hank 3. I was like Hank Jr.'s kid? They're like, fuck yeah. I'm like, all right, didn't see that one coming.
Yeah, right. All right, just gonna throw this out there. Talking about super talented people, you may not like his music and all that. I kind of do, but and Chase knows him personally. But Kid Rock is a fucking talking about someone who's just crazy talented that doesn't get the credit for being talented musician for obvious reasons. But Kid Rock is what's his name? Bob or whatever. What's his name?
Bobby.
It's
Roberts, but he goes as Bobby.
Yeah.
I got kicked out of one of his concerts at Riverbend.
Fucking Chase has
Take
hung
your
out
shirt
with
off.
him, and Chase has hung out with him like on his farm and shit. So he knows the dude.
Yeah, like him and Hank are like buddies, and so like they used to come in my old shop a lot, and that's how I got to know him. And like I know their land manager and that kind of stuff. And he's actually a really very down to earth, chill dude. He's not much different than you would expect him to be in real life, other than he's pretty funny. And the only time he ever
have you
acted
seen him?
Hollywood,
He doesn't look good lately. I don't know what's going on.
No, I think
good.
he's got something going on. I don't know. I'm not sure what's up, but he's just looking rough.
He doesn't look good.
But the only time he was ever Hollywood by any means was like one time he was in there with, some lady he had brought in with him, and he was just like, hey, if as long as y'all don't like take pictures and post on the internet somewhere or social media, this is like early on social media days. He's like, I don't need that headache right now because that's all I'm asking. And I mean, she was like some straight off, Detroit stripper somewhere. But I was like, that's fine, man, whatever.
Probably when he was with Sheryl Crow, he didn't want her to find out about that shit.
This was after her, but this was like
Penn Anderson time,
early teens. Yeah, this was early 20 teens, somewhere in there.
Okay. Yeah. So we should go through our fun ones. So growing up, I was very blessed that in Dallas, there is a famous kind of a dive establishment, kind of like you're talking about a few hundred people max, no chairs. It's all standing room with the stage. It was called Trees, and it's still there. I don't know if it's what it was, but back in the 90s, it was Trees. And basically what happened was they had like local acts, most like local acts, like, Pantera played there, Trippin' Daisy played there. All the big Dallas bands that came out in the 80s and 90s played there to start out and get some stage time. They would let the local acts play until midnight. And then after midnight, it was literally open stage until 4:00 in the morning. So anyone could like just jump up and there'd be jam sessions. Well, what made Trees famous was after, like, the great thing about Dallas is every major concert tour goes through Dallas, right? It's huge. So after the concerts are over, you'd see like Steven Tyler or Kurt Cobain or Eddie Vedder. They would come to Trees to chill. And like, if they were working on new music, they would just jump on stage with an acoustic guitar and like start, hey guys, I've been writing this new song. My name is Jim Smith. Obviously we know who the fuck you are, but it goes by Jim Smith or whatever. And they just start playing their new music. Well, next thing you know, someone else is jumping up on stage. Next thing you know, it's a fucking jam session. And Eddie Vedder is just chilling with an acoustic guitar, like singing a new song. So Trees became famous, but buddy of mine's dad owned it. And so we went there all the time. And if someone we liked, we knew was coming in, we would go. And there was one in the early 90s that I think I was like a junior in high school. And I heard a song on the radio, and they might have been playing like very slowly at that point on MTV, their video. But the Cranberries came in, and I was completely enthralled with Dolores O'Riordan. I think she was gorgeous, especially as a 16, 17-year-old kid in high school. I was, oh, God, Irish girl, you can sing? Yeah, I'm in. So they came. We went to Trees, obviously, got backstage. I ended up just smoking 3 or 4 joints, just getting hammered stoned with the Cranberries. And that was kind of the coolest thing in the world because they're just sitting there smoking in the back and just getting stoned out of my gourd with the Cranberries.
Did you let it linger?
I let it linger a little bit. And I was a zombie after that. So see what I did there?
You brought up Steven Tyler.
Yeah.
Steven Tyler, Aerosmith is probably the most disappointing concert I've ever been to.
Really?
Yes.
Did it sound bad or what?
The sound, the show. So it was Toledo Sports Arena, Toledo, Ohio.
Yeah.
And this is back mid-90s. Probably mid-90s, early 90s. Anyway, there was a headliner called Cry of Love who had like 2 songs ever. And they outshined Aerosmith in every way.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. Same thing happened with Motley Crue and Scorpions. I would never go see Crue, even if I wanted to back in the day, because I've heard they were so bad. Like they were just so bad that I didn't want to ruin it for me because I loved. Yeah, I went to go see Crue, and like Scorpions. Obviously, I knew who the Scorpions were.
Yeah, sure.
But, it was at Polaris Amphitheater in Columbus. Same thing. Scorpions just blew them out of the water.
The funniest one, I've been to hundreds of concerts, but the funniest one, 1991, I think, maybe 92, the Faith No More, Guns N' Roses, Metallica tour came to Dallas at the Cotton Bowl. And if you guys were around, Ginger he wasn't even alive back then, but they used to switch. Metallica and Guns N' Roses switched like the headliner every couple of nights, so they were both kind of dual headliners. At the time in Dallas, when they came through the first time, Faith No More opened, then Metallica was a second, and that night just happened to be Guns was the headliner. I've told Chase the story before; it's hilarious. And
you got to see it before Hetfield got his facial treatment.
Yeah, oh yeah, and it won't surprise anybody. Needless to say, Faith No More came on, played for half an hour, played Epic, which is the only song that anyone knew at that point, but it was good. Metallica came on, played for like an hour and a half, unbelievable. And then it was supposed to be Guns. Well, apparently Axl was having an Axl moment and decided he didn't want to come on stage. He was throwing an Axl fit. So Metallica came back on and told everyone, I mean, they threw him under the bus. He said, hey, they're here. Axl just doesn't want to do anything. So we don't want to have y'all just sitting here. So the funniest thing ever was Metallica came on and started playing Guns N' Roses songs. It was fantastic. Fantastic. They started playing basically Appetite for Destruction and all that. They just started playing it, and it was great. And then at that point, I think it was Duff and Slash came on to join them on stage. And at that point, Axl had no choice but to come on stage because everyone was already out there. But yeah, the funniest thing was hearing Metallica playing GNR and doing it somewhat better. So it was pretty cool. I got a chance to see Guns N' Roses with Skid Row. About that same time frame, the early 90s. It was 91. It was for Guns N' Roses was touring for their Use Your Illusion 1 and 2 albums. Yeah. I think it was 92 is when the Metallica GNR tour, I think, happened, if I'm not mistaken.
And that was a great show. I mean, both bands were on point. It was long. I mean, this thing was like 4 or 5 hours long. It was at Toledo.
Talking about a vocalist, people don't realize how good Sebastian Bach is.
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what a great voice. Yeah. Any of you guys, Ginger, like, have you, when you went to go see, like, you know, Hanson and, you know, when you were going to see the Backstreet Boys and all that, like, who was your best concert that you went to when you were growing up?
Best concert that
NSYNC.
He used to say third base. He didn't even know who third base is. Speaking of rap,
No.
by the way.
It was
He's like Ace of Base. What?
It's a base.
See, I never went to many concerts, so the best one had to be
They don't allow gingers at concerts.
Yeah. It was 1,000 Foot Crutch and Skillet performing. So I guess that was the best one.
Okay.
I mean, those are both solid bands, but that does not surprise me. You went to like some Christian metal show.
It doesnn't surprise me at all either. Like, I didn't go to concerts, so.
But you did. Yeah, those both of those dudes both made it mainstream, just like Chevelle, and it's.
I'm surprised you didn't say Creed. Like, I could definitely see Ginger chilling at a Creed concert back in the day.
Ginger's not old enough for Creed.
Now, I guess the coolest thing I went to was like, I went to the University of Akron, so we went to a bar the one night and Black Keys were playing. That was before they were
okay.
That was before they were the Black Keys.
Like,
they were the Black Keys, but they weren't like big yet.
Yeah, I can dig that.
I mean, I'll never forgive Ohio's music scene for taking dime. So, you know, you can stuff that shit all away.
Kyle, what's the best concert you went to, Kyle?
Best concert I've been to. I have not been to a lot of concerts, to be honest with you.
Okay.
But the Kid Rock concert is probably going to be my number one.
I bet you Kid Rock puts on a fantastic show, I bet.
Yeah, and David Allan Coe opened for him. It sucks to hear he's a freaking asshole in real life, but dude, that guy, his songs crack me the fuck up, bro. So, but that was a good time. What I can remember of it, that was back in my wild days. So,
yeah,
which is hence why I got kicked out of the concert. But
yeah, it happens.
So, showing my age a little bit there, Ghost.
You're younger than I am, so go fuck yourself.
Am I?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Couple years, yeah.
Way back in the day, before the WWE was the WWE, it was still the WWF.
Yeah.
They had a show at, if I remember correctly, the college at where I'm from.
Okay.
I think it was the college. And at the bar, now I wasn't old enough to be in the bar. I'm sorry. I was old enough to be in the bar. I wasn't old enough to drink.
Okay.
They allowed underage in there.
Yeah.
But I got to sit and hang out with the Bushwhackers.
No shit. Like the wrestling team?
Yes, the tag team.
Those guys?
Yes.
Yes.
That's crazy.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. My favorite story is I'm like 15, 16. Steve Miller's from Dallas. And I don't know if you guys know who the Steve Miller Band is. I don't expect Ginger to know who Steve Miller Band is, but Steve Miller plays every Memorial Day in Dallas, or he used to. I don't know if he still does, but we used to go there every Memorial Day, see him, Jimmy Buffett, Hank Jr., and Alabama. Those were the four big headliners for the Memorial Day weekend concert fest in Dallas back in the day. And Steve Miller always opened up Friday night as a headliner. After the show was over, this is like 89, 90, 91, somewhere in there. And so I told my buddy with me, hey, let's go backstage. You're like, do you have passes? Like, no, we don't need passes. So just act like you belong there. And they're like, okay. So I was a bullshitter long ago. I walk up and I just start walking. This big old dude stops me. He goes, where are you going? I said, I'm going backstage. And he goes, are you on the list? What's your name? I told him, this is back in the 90s. So there weren't like computers and all that. There weren't iPads. It was just paper. There was an actual list of people that could be back there. And they're like, I said, what's your name? I said, well, my name's Trey Miller. And he's like, yeah, you're not on the list. And I was like, what do you mean I'm not on the list? He goes, yeah, you're not on the list. You're not going back there. And I said, bullshit. I was like, that's my uncle. And he was like, what? And I was like, that's my fucking uncle, dude. Like, I'm going back to see my uncle. And he goes, what's your name? He says, you got an ID on you? So I think I was 16, so I had a driver's license. So I gave my driver's license. My last name is Miller. And he's like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you sure? And I was like, bro, do you want to be the motherfucker that is the reason why I don't get to see my uncle? Yeah, man, just get back there and have fun. So we went back there. We went backstage to Steve Miller Band because I just basically said he was my uncle, and the guy had no way of not proving it. And I was like, are you going to be the one that doesn't let me see my uncle? And he goes, man, get back there. Gave us a couple passes. We walked back there. It was pretty fun. It was pretty fun. I like doing shit like that.
Hell yeah.
Back in the day, you could do that without the electronics and technology. Now it's like, no.
It's all about how big your balls were and how brave and stupid you were all at the same time.
I mean, people that know me and everyone in this room knows me, I do not lack for confidence. I also am too stupid to be scared. So, like, when you walk up somewhere, when you're confident and you're not scared of being told no, like, you can get a lot of shit done back in the day, you know?
That's how I wound up, in a different state at 14 years old at a Pantera concert, skipping school. And this elaborate hoax we had going on.
My dad used to make a joke. Yeah, my dad used to make a joke. He said, if you could rent out your high school parking lot for like a carnival, you would. And I was like, God damn right I would. So I was the artful dodger back in the day. I was always trying to scheme shit. That we used to throw field parties at a buddy of mine's house that had 50 acres. His parents had 1,000 acres, thousands and thousands of acres ranch, and he gave all four of the kids, 2 boys, 2 girls, 50 acres that they could have. It was fenced in, gated. They could have for the rest of their lives. Hey, if you want to build a house, you never have to worry about having land. Like, you've got 50 acres, it'll always be yours. So we went and had field parties every weekend at this place because they had a gate, and cops couldn't come on. It's private property in Texas. You get shot for that shit in Texas. And so you had to be there by 10 o'clock, though, on Friday or Saturday night, whichever night we had it. But you had to be there by 10 because we locked the gate at 10 o'clock, and we didn't open up till the next morning. So once you were in, you weren't leaving. And if you weren't in, you weren't coming in at 10 o'clock. But we used to throw parties, and we would have kegs out the ass out there. And we had kegs over here, and we had kegs over there. Ones over here were for juniors and seniors. Kegs over there were for the freshman and sophomore, and that was O'Doul's back in the day, which is non-alcoholic beer. We just used to fuck with the freshmen and sophomores, unless we liked to, or they're a hot girl. We obviously the hot freshman, sophomore girls come drink with us, but the dudes were all drinking near beer, and it was just funny to watch them walk around, act like they were drunk. We're like, nah, dude, there ain't enough fucking beer in that keg to get you drunk. But we charged everyone like $5 to get in, and we made a shit ton of money that year. Oh my god, it was so much fun. So much money. We'd have like 2 or 3 people.
I'm going to show Chase something here.
Hey, I think I recognize that.
That looks like a tackle box that you spray painted a big G on. What are you doing?
It is.
What are you doing?
He found the G spot, see?
The paint was still wet when I got it.
It's all good.
He's got all his lollipops in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, his that's his lollipops and pool supplies,
That one's X-rated out here.
Oh snap! Nice, well played.
Speaking of lollipops,
yeah,
we should probably move on to the tariff conversation here.
Well, I was trying to avoid that, but you know what? It needs to be talked about.
The people need to hear it.
The people need to hear it. So you guys, if you're out there and you haven't been paying attention, was it Thursday or Friday?
It's Wednesday last week. Not that I was paying attention.
Is it Wednesday? It was Wednesday. Yeah, it was Wednesday that was announced late in the afternoon, ironically just after the print deadline for the evening news, right? So
yeah, right as the markets were closing.
And right as the markets were closing, go figure how that happened. President Trump announced tariffs for foreign finished products and raw materials and basically anything coming in. And I understand why.
And raw materials.
And let's say raw materials. I said raw materials.
Finished goods, unfinished goods, doesn't matter.
Yeah. I understand the reasoning behind it. But our industry, it is a very I've been witnessing it from my side of the industry. Obviously, Kyle and Chase are on their side, and Ginger's on his side of the industry. All three different sides of the industry. The ripple effect of the decisions that have been made in the last week could dramatically change what our industry looks like in a matter of days. Chase, you are being an importer. Obviously, you're probably a lot more versed in a lot of this stuff than we are. Can you kind of, how do I put this? Give us the cliff notes of what the hell's going on.
The crash course.
So
what people don't, so it doesn't matter as far as imports, exports, whatever. You have tariffs, or what everybody refers to as duties that have to be paid on goods. The issue that is going on as far as the outdoor industry, firearms, fishing, hunting, all that stuff, is a ton of our product and a ton of our raw material are imported, be it finished goods like our firearms, be it fishing lures, weights, lines, rods, reels, tents, sleeping bags, ammunition, you name it. Tons and tons of this stuff is imported. Well, when we import this stuff, you have to pay the tariffs on it. You have to pay the duties, which by and large are pretty low for most of the countries we do business with. We paid roughly, like a 3% rate, give or take, something like that. Now, with the change to the plans that we're doing currently with the administration, you went from like a roughly 3% rate to a base tariff of at least 10%. Some of the stuff is in the astronomical levels of
that's
70,
plus the
80,
3%, though. That's plus
90.
The 3%.
That's what people don't realize. Everybody's like, oh, it's 10% now. It's a 7% difference. No, it's 10 plus 3. Or in the case of the EU, it's 20 plus 3. Or you have places that are 43% plus the 3, or 76% plus the 3, or in China's case 104%.
There you go.
So it is going to, currently prices are going up. There's just no getting around it. Some people everybody's trying to figure out the best way to maneuver this. We're working on it, everybody else is, but the cost of doing business in the long run is changing. Like, I understand what we're trying to accomplish. It's just there's going to be near-term pain for everybody until it gets figured out.
Well, pain is one word. There's going to be companies and businesses closing their doors, possibly because of this. And we're talking like major companies.
Could be. What people don't understand too is, on top of the normal like tariffs and duties, you have everything's got codes assigned to it by Customs and Commerce and Department of State. It all depends on what the materials are, what the goods are, etc. What everybody's kind of worried about, and the customs brokers brought everybody's attention several days ago, was their derivative codes that are normally on like raw material, like people bringing in steel, or they're bringing in certain produce or things like that. Well, they can actually use those on finished goods as well, and it's usually on certain finished goods like automotive parts or very specific machinery and tooling and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, firearms have derivative codes, and if they ever get turned on, that's an immediate 25%
on top of everything else. Yeah.
The original and then the current tariff. So if you have, like in the EU's case, it's 20%. If you have 20% plus 3% plus 25%, that's hanging up, game over. Nobody can afford the stuff anymore.
Yep. Yep. And the sad thing is that we're going to focus on the firearm industry because that's what we are, but this is going to spread economy wide. Like, this isn't just a firearms issue. This is an economy industry across the board, cars, everything. It's just going to.
So I got a good example right now is I got some buddies who are in the very well-known large clothing brand world.
Yes, you do.
And you're talking about, hey, these pair of shoes or these pair of pants or this shirt I like, this just went from $60, $70, $80 to $170, $180, $200.
Yep. Overnight.
That's a huge difference. And that's not just going to affect our industry. It's going to affect everybody because all this stuff comes out of Asia, and Asia got the worst of it. So
we were talking before the show, and it sounds better. Our good friends, some of our optic company friends are fucked.
Oh, dude, optics are bad.
Correct me. Oh, sorry.
No, I was going to say, I was in the optics world. What's happening too is certain things, optics being one of them, they are requiring you to list out where all your source origin is from.
Mm-hmm.
And more of these optic companies are having to come clean that, hey, a lot of our stuff comes out of China, or
with
a lot of our stuff comes out of the
Japanese
Philippines,
glass,
or comes out of
Japanese
Japan.
glass.
Which a lot of your upper end stuff, like Leupold stuff's assembled in the United States, designed in the United States, but uses Japanese components. There's nothing wrong with that. But there's a lot of companies that are saying that, well, we do this, that, and the other, and they're really like sourcing from China and not telling everybody the truth, and all that's coming out.
Yeah. You're peeling back the curtain, Trace.
Oh yeah, it's the onion unraveling, man. Just peeling it away.
I mean, we haven't really recovered yet from his first term in the steel industry. I mean, when he made that stance against foreign steel in his first term, it almost shut the place down that I worked for. I mean, I've been in the steel industry and fabrication my whole life, and the steel industry still hasn't recovered from that. And then, with us, within the firearms community, we rely on a lot of aluminum.
Yep.
Well, there's plenty of U.S. aluminum, but most of it's smelted and turned into ingots and things like that overseas.
Yeah.
Or recycled. Like a lot of our aluminum is recycled aluminum, but it's all recycled overseas. So it may have started as American aluminum, but it's not anymore. That's optics and everything else.
Yeah. Yeah. Kyle, you were going to say something. Go ahead, man.
Oh, I was going to say, correct me if I'm wrong here, because I'm definitely not like an optics insider guy. 3 countries for glass, right? China, Japan, Germany.
So are you talking about like manufacturer or like hierarchy of glass?
Hierarchy of glass.
So Germany, Austria is your top. Japan's next. Then there's the Philippines, and then there's China.
I don't know what Germany's tariff is because I can't find that shit.
That's going to be EU.
It's the EU, so it's 20%.
20%.
But China and Japan is astronomical.
Yeah,
China's the worst. Japan's bad.
If I remember right.
46, I think. That might have been plus. It might have been 43 plus. I saw 46, but I know that China's 103 or 104 or something.
China's 104 now.
Yeah.
And the Philippines is up there too. The Philippines is like 60-something%.
Yeah.
So your affordable Vortex, your affordable SIG optics, your the stuff that kind of replaced like the Nikon Pro Staffs and all that of the day.
Imagine what Holosuns are going to be looking like here.
Soon. Dude, like all that stuff's going to go nuts. Like all your affordable red dots. I mean, Trigicon's going to look cheap again.
Yeah, no shit.
So as of yesterday, and this could have changed. It's saying China's at 34. China's at 34. Japan's at 24. I think
China's at 101 right now. It's going back and forth. They're at 101.
Yeah, because they retaliated.
The original 3, it's 104 total for China now.
They retaliated
this afternoon.
And then Trump's like, fuck it, I'm going to double down on it.
Yeah, it's going to be near-term pain for everyone.
So, yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where, our friends at Gideon and our friends at Monstrum and our friends at all these that are great companies, great people, great companies with great products. They're still going to have great products. They're still going to be great people. But you're not getting that $300 optic anymore. Or if it's the $300 optic is now going to be the fucking shit you get on Amazon for $70 is now going to be the $300 optic. Let's just be honest.
Your $3,600 Swarovski just turned into a $4,200 Swarovski.
That's it. At least. Yeah.
Controversial take here, but
yeah.
This had to happen, right? This needed to happen.
Okay, I mean, need is an interesting word. I'll let Chase and everyone else chime in. I want to take my 2 cents. Need, I think I don't disagree with what he's trying to do, right? I think that what he's trying to do is to bring American manufacturing and American pride back into the workforce by Made in the USA. I get it. He knows that with our labor laws, we're never, ever, ever, ever going to be able to compete because our cost of products is going to be so much higher because we pay our people right. Okay. So there's costs that are going to happen. He knows that. So I think what my idea is he planned on these tariffs until the U.S. production and U.S. could catch up and do what it needs to do to get the infrastructure back for American manufacturing back on track where it needs to be. The money brought in on these tariffs were going to kind of save us, right? What I don't think he realized is that we're already in an economic slump. I'm not going to say the R word. This country's already in an economic slump. There are people, we're paying $6-7 for fucking eggs right now, right? The U.S. economy is bad. The average person can't afford much more than what they already are. They can't afford to wait for U.S. manufacturing to catch up in prices. The problem with that is, what the hell? There's 2 chases. The problem we're going to have with that is companies are going to go down. We're not going to be able to afford the stuff regardless. So what he's doing is actually going to backfire. Now, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years down the road, it might work out beautifully. We might look back and say, that motherfucker was genius. But it's going to hurt for a while. It's going to hurt, and there's no really way around it. The middle isn't you. So let me get rid of this one. There we go. He dropped out. It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. I understand what he's trying to do. I understand it. I don't think that this was the time or the place to do it. And from what I understand, talking to people, and Chase is one of these who's talked to different government organizations over the last few days, no one knows. They don't even know what's happening. They don't have a direct answer. So that's my take on. I'm going to sit back and let you guys, Kyle, Ginger, Chris, Matt, Chase, your 2 cents on what's happening. Kyle, why don't you go first, and she kind of posed the question.
Obviously, my top concern is kind of selfish, but it's for my friends in the industry.
Yep.
And I feel like the whole purpose is to add jobs to America, but my concern kind of ties into what you said, the infrastructure.
Yep.
You're not just going into empty buildings and setting up manufacturing. You're going to need to lay foundations and build it from the ground up.
Yep.
And that is going to take time.
Yep.
I don't know.
It's the scary thing is he's trying to add jobs, but if these companies are closing down, you're actually going to lose jobs. And yes, Scott, you're all right. His end game is to get rid of the income tax. We're a long way from that. It's going to be a lot of world of hurt before that income tax goes away. It's going to hurt everybody before that goes away, if it ever goes away.
A lot's about to change immediately, like you were alluding to. Prices are going to go up on things that you're used to having every day.
Yeah, because Chase, you said I thought it was supposed to go into effect tomorrow. You said it went into effect on Monday, right? So it's already happening.
Yeah, the stuff he announced last Wednesday, everybody thought it was going to go effect 12/01 Wednesday, and they ended up bumping it up. So it's effective. It's already in effect now.
Yeah.
Like for us, as a good example, I've got goods in the air right now as we're talking, and they are affected by the new duties.
Yeah. So Kyle, I mean, the prices are going to go up, and you're going to start seeing. I haven't gone on there. Has anyone gone to Amazon lately? I can't even imagine. Amazon might lose their ass in this. Let's just be honest. Amazon might not exist.
Amazon's going to get hit hard. Temu, you can pretty much hang that up now. was it Sheen or Shine or however you say
yeah,
it,
whatever.
and
Yeah.
Wayfair, and like all those places are all it's gonna be harsh for all those places.
But
Go ahead, Carl. Sorry.
I was gonna say, but Wayfair is every style, every place.
Well, they'll still have it. It just 100% more. It's fine.
Yeah, your $10 something's now gonna be $25. Your Amazon cart's gonna go from $100 to $250 now with the same shit.
Barring major negotiations, back to school time's coming in a few months, right? For everybody. What happens when you take little Johnny to go buy his new backpack and it went from $20 to $50 and his lunchbox is $40 instead of $20 and all his school supplies tripled in cost? That's what is the immediate pain for everybody. I fully understand what was going on. Post World War II, we were a tariff-based country until post World War II, the 50s. We started kind of shifting stuff around. We started moving more towards this globalization of the world economies, which we were trying to grow economies across the world for allies. We were trying to make more friends in the world, have more strategic interests. I understand what happened. But it's more than just that. I mean, it had a lot to do with moving away from the gold standard and, globalizing economies and monies around the world. And there's a lot of moving parts to this. It's not a simple solution. The tariff stuff, I understand what he's doing because we needed parity because the United States has been getting screwed for a long time.
Absolutely. I don't disagree. It's gonna take some time. It's gonna hurt while it works itself out.
Exactly. But there's definite near-term pain for everybody because of that. Like, in Kyle's case, I don't know where they source aluminum from, but a lot of the aluminum used in a lot of the stuff we use in this country does not come from the United States. It might have been sold by a U.S. entity, but a lot of it comes from overseas. It's going to affect everything.
Yeah. Scott out there says, "Does this mean that the local retail might return?" I hope so. I think eventually it will. But here's the thing. I was in, we had my former job being a golf pro for 20 something years. We had a golf shop, and the big boy online shops were killing. It's just like the big box stores are killing the local gun shops, right? The difference is in the retail shopping is this: no matter if you're buying it on Amazon or you're buying it at your local store, it's still getting sourced from the same place. So there's not been a whole lot of production in the last 10 to 15 years in America. Let's just be honest. There hasn't been a lot of manufacturing. Everything's being sourced because it's cheaper. That's business, right? So do I think that the local retail shops will help? I do, as long as they're not getting their sources from the same place that everyone else is. If they're getting local source or U.S. source goods, then yeah, it will help them. But chances are the local retail clothing stores getting their clothes from the exact same place that everyone else is overseas. So I don't know. I don't know. I hope to God it does. Go ahead.
All this tariff stuff should have happened when we got into NAFTA. Some of us probably remember Ross Perot and his famous speech about a giant sucking sound.
Yep.
And he was right. He was 100% right. But that's when we should have automatically move, do this, do that, move your manufacturing out of the country. However, there will be tariffs.
Yeah.
This all should have started back then.
Absolutely, it should.
Yeah.
I mean, and there's extremely well-developed countries that are charging us insane tariffs, but expecting us to pay insane tariffs. But on the flip side, we don't charge them hardly anything, and they want to keep it that way.
Yep.
Which is where this EU fight's coming in is a really great example of that.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I don't disagree. I worry about it's happening so quickly. It's not like this is coming in stages. Hey, we're going to increase it a little bit here. And over 6 months, we're going to increase it from 3% to, let's say, 20% or whatever that number is, but we're going to do it in gradual stages. It's gone from here to there literally overnight. The shock and awe of it, I think, is what's going to hurt the most. Is there was no really way of kind of leveling this up and getting used to it. Once again, understand why he's doing it. I'm not saying it's a bad idea. It's just it's going to hurt. And what really upsets me is there's going to be businesses and companies that close down because it's going to hurt. And that's
you're definitely going to see some pain from it. That's for sure. The reason why it's happened as quickly as it did, one, he's delivering on his campaign promises in so many days of activity, but everybody sees how the stock market's reacting, how the market just went nuts in a downward trend. Personally, we've had the conversation before different ways. He's doing it intentionally to drop the market by at least 20%. If he's trying to get that market cap down 20%, so it forces the Fed to lower interest rates.
Absolutely.
The United States is coming up on having to, renegotiate and refinance our debt. Well, if we can get interest rates down and we refinance our debt at a lower rate, then we come out better on the long run on that. It helps the American people out, who are trying to buy things because they've got a lower interest rate at the time. The whole idea behind the tariff thing, I don't think the 10% is going away. A lot of people are saying, people are trying to negotiate and they're promising 0-0 deals and all this. For now, the 10% is here to stay because that's how he gets rid of the income tax. And if he can get rid of the income tax, it makes him look like a hero. But in the long term, it's a wash. Because of the increase of cost of goods, there's no income tax, so we all make more money on paper. But in the long run, we're still spending that amount of money to buy the goods we're buying until U.S. manufacturing catches up. So it's a giant wash in the long run.
Yeah. My only worry, and this is my only worry, I've got a couple others, but my main big worry is what I think people here are educated enough, but there's a lot of people in this country that they just don't pay attention. If it doesn't truly affect their everyday life, they don't really give a shit what happens outside of their little bubble. Over the last 20 years, I don't think people realize how much of our debt that China owns. The worst case scenario is China calls in our debt. Now, our economy collapses. The flip side of it is so does theirs and everyone else's in the world. I don't think they would do that. But if he keeps playing really hardball with China, I ain't worried about World War III with nuclear and all that. I worry about China calling in our debt because that changes shit overnight. Our economy ceases to exist if China calls in our debt. I don't think it's going to happen, but that's worst case scenario. And that's the only thing I worry about with him playing games with China is how much of an asshole do they want to be? And that's what worries me is they can call in our debt and we're fucked. We're fucked.
Well, Matt, go ahead. You're good.
Oh, I was just going to say that I know Trump supporters are not going to like to hear this, but this one thing, and Ghost, you were saying, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 years, whatever down the road, things may level out or whatever.
I hope so.
And he's well out of office at that point. But this one thing, especially if China calls in our debt, this has every possibility to make Trump's second term the worst term of presidency in this country's history.
It could. I'll throw another one at you. And Chase and I were talking about the other night. Chase and I usually have pretty lighthearted and fun conversations, but the last week or so, it's been pretty stressful on everyone. Economic failure, and we're talking worldwide economic failure, is how world wars start. Just throwing it out there.
The last time the world saw a recession to the extreme level that we could potentially run into if this doesn't work out was exactly how World War II started.
Yep.
And if you push certain people into a corner, and they got nothing left to lose, bad things tend to happen.
And that's what I worry about with China. I worry about China. I don't worry about the bomb side of China. I don't worry about the war side of China. I worry about the economic war. Man, God, who knows?
So, Chase and I were talking about this the other day,
Yeah.
and I'm going to bring up some points. So, first off, 60% of the firearms industry is imported guns. That's 60%.
Or components or something, right?
No, we're talking about guns sold in the U.S. 60% of them are imported. Roughly.
Because what people realize is there's a lot of.
I thought you were talking about imported companies, and I was like, whoa.
No. Guns in general, because people don't realize there's a lot of large brand names that their stuff is imported.
Yeah. We're talking, peel back the curtain. We're talking Springfield, Glock, HK, Taurus,
Browning, Winchester.
Browning, Winchester. This is, and Chase just brought up Browning. We had a congressperson that we were talking to, and we were like, yeah, you do understand that Browning's imported from Japan. And they're like, oh, bring Browning back to America. Browning hasn't been in America since 64.
Yeah, a long time.
For a very long time.
I thought it was the 80s. I didn't realize it was the 60s.
Right, because what was it, Chase? Right, the post 64 guns are
the
not worth
pre-64 versus post 64. Brownings are either made majority of Morocco, and then you have certain things that are made in Portugal, and there's some assembly and things like that here in the United States, but like a lot of these other companies, a lot of things are made overseas and then assembled or marketed or sold or whatever here in the United States. Everybody has known Glock's been an Austrian company forever. Yes, they have a facility here. Yes, they build guns here. They don't do everything here, but so many companies, no matter who they are, use imported components.
Absolutely.
And that's the big kicker is it drives cost up for everybody because so many foreign components are in what everybody uses.
Well, it's like what you said. It's not just finished products. It's not just unfinished products. It's the raw materials. So between those three things,
let's talk
their hand in this. Everyone's got their hand in it.
Let's talk about small parts. Springs from China or Turkey or wherever.
China,
they cost
Turkey,
10
India.
cents. Think how much it costs to make. Yeah. Think how much they're going to cost now here. Think of the steel imports that are coming in. We are looking at 5 to 6 years to get all the industry spun back up. We don't smelt our own lead. Everything is being scrap lead, gets shipped to China and brought back. That's all our ammo. We haven't even seen.
You're spot on. I was going to say ammunition is the biggest thing people aren't thinking about. Lead, brass, nitrocellulose, all that stuff's imported.
Yeah, I was talking with Chase earlier. We carry a brand from the UK, Ely ammo, and we're kind of big in the Ely, and we're supposed to be getting our prices here pretty soon. I don't know when they're going to hit, but I mean, we're talking about ammo prices going back to even higher than fucking COVID prices,
Well, you hit the nail on the head. We haven't seen the price hike yet. We haven't seen
it. It's going to be April or May probably before we start seeing some of the big price differences.
So here's what I will say. In the short term, distributors and gun stores, once those price hikes get announced, which they haven't, and let's hope they never do, but once they get leaked, because pretty much everybody's already probably gotten the, hey, this is going to be the new price. Yep. Once that leaks to the internet, we're going to see a massive run for about a month or two on gun, COVID style run on guns, ammo, everything.
Well, I can tell you this much. Since Friday afternoon, the amount of orders that have come in through the company that I work for is insane. This afternoon, we usually get the stuff out, orders. We have a very efficient warehouse. We have a very efficient crew. It's going to be days before orders get out. We always say that same day, within 24 hours, if you place an order within 24 hours, it's shipped. It's going to be, there's no way. It's going to be 3 to 5 days for a shipment to get up because the crazy buying has already started. It's insane the amount of orders that are coming in through our distributor that like we haven't seen since the COVID year. I haven't been there. I've been there for a couple months, but they're saying this is like COVID level of buying.
Yeah, well, because everyone's trying to get it before the new price hikes. But
because everything that we have as a distributor, everything that we have already in our warehouse is good to go.
Yeah.
So we're selling. I mean, we're going to sell everything we can just because we have to.
Here's what I'm going to say. From a GOA perspective, they are pricing out people out of the Second Amendment. If you think about it, how much is your $200 Taurus going to cost now?
Who would have thunk that the greatest gun control ever would be a tariff?
Yeah, we're talking like Taurus probably going to be like a $200 GX4 is going to be $400 now. A Glock
it'll be $350 easily.
Yeah, a Glock.
I don't know what the Brazilian tariff is, but it's still
35. It's 35.
Is it 35? There you go.
Yeah, that's what Chase. I think that's what Chase said. There was 35 earlier.
It's
right,
30 something. Yeah, it's up there.
Yeah,
Brazil. Yeah,
I go back and look. I've got a list of all that stuff.
You're talking a Glock now, possibly a $500 Glock costing almost $800. You're talking, and then you're going to be like, okay, well, maybe they'll buy more American manufactured.
Now you're going to have to go buy that $100 optic for it's going to now be a $300 optic to put on that thing.
Well, and then the administration will look at it and they're going to be like, well, they're going to buy American guns. So Ruger and Smith & Wesson and name a gun company, that's me. Nope. Those prices are going to go up because steel's gone up and springs have gone up. The only one that'll probably stay around the price is what Cobra Arms just said. He took the words right out of my mouth. Invest in High Point because High Points are going to probably stay the same price.
So here's the thing. Will they, though? I don't think they will. They won't.
No, they'll go up. I don't think High Point will go up as much. They'll probably go to 200.
It will go as much, but here's the thing. They'll go up because of the supply and demand.
Yeah.
Supply and demand.
They're going to make as much money as they can. They're going to price it up. May not be that whole 50% price increase. They're going to go up 10% because they can. Let's just be honest with it.
And you have to worry about, like every other American manufacturer, where the raw materials are coming from are going to take a hit.
That's it.
Dude,
Kyle, I don't know. I don't even know if you're allowed to talk about it, but has with you guys, I mean, people don't realize how much OEM work you do for other manufacturers and all that. But with raw materials, have y'all started to see some interesting prices come through?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, no, I get it. John, you brought the GOA and obviously we're talking about the industry side. I'm in a distributor industry. Chase is import, Kyle's in a manufacturer and all that. But the GOA being a lobbyist, I can only imagine what the lawyers with GOA are going through right now.
Let's see. It started Thursday. I think that's when I first talked to Chase was Thursday. Talked to Chase, got a hold of our lobbyist. It went Thursday. Friday was full send. Saturday was full send. Yesterday was kind of still talking about stuff. And then today we had an emergency. After I got off the phone with Chase, I had an emergency phone call with everybody because from a GOA perspective, from a lobbying perspective, yes, this is a huge thing, a huge detriment against the Second Amendment. But also some of our largest partners are importers. Yeah. Chase is one of our large partners. Canic's one of our large partners.
Century's going to get hurt.
Yeah.
Man. And the whole Century umbrella is going to get hurt.
And then the pricing, and then the price increase too. That means no one's going to buy memberships. No one's going to be, because we're going to be trying to fight this. And I know our team's on Capitol Hill and they're fighting. And our messaging right now is you are pricing the lower to middle class out of being able to own the Second Amendment or have the Second Amendment right. You're creating, theoretically, like you said, it's gun control without creating gun control laws. You're pricing out the affordable imports like the EAAs, and think of some of the great the untouchable chase. You're probably it's probably what we're looking at. Probably instead of a $400 or $300 gun, we're probably looking at a $400 $500 gun, right?
It's not quite that drastic because the way we're looking at doing things right now is we're basically looking at a 13% price hike when you go 10 plus 3 versus the 3 we were paying. Now we have made the decision that we're going to try to eat a good bit of this instead of passing it on to our customers who are going to pass it on to the consumer, or everybody's going to have to try to make it work. It's not like we're making crazy margins on anything, but we're lowering our.
I've learned this in just a short time that I've been in the industry. Margins are shit on guns. Let's just be honest for everybody.
Let's say it out loud. It's 10. You're lucky if you get 10%.
Lucky if you get 10.
You're lucky if you get 10 on ammo. You're lucky if you get 3.
Yeah, on the firearm industry, on the wholesale level, like forget the dealers, the wholesale level, which everybody thinks is where all the money is, crazy. If you hit 10%, you are doing amazing. Guns are usually like 7-ish, so it's not this mass amount of wealth people think.
I was amazed when I started working to see. I knew that the dealers, the gun shops, weren't seeing crazy numbers. 4, 5, 6, 7 points, right? I didn't realize that was what even us as wholesalers. It's insane. I mean, it's insane. There's no. And I will say this, Chase. I appreciate the fact that companies like EAA, and I'm sure there's others out there, they're going to try to absorb at least a portion of this, to not pass it all on to the consumers. But let me ask you this: how long can you sustain? I'm not saying you personally in EAA, but a company can't just sustain absorbing this for very long before it's just like to the point like we can't do this anymore, right?
No, if it stays roughly like it is right now, if they don't go, if tariffs, duties, ad valorem tax, whatever you want to call it now, because he keeps changing how he's addressing this. If it stays like it is, we're all right. Yeah, everybody's kosher, everybody's good. Yeah. If the taxes, the duties, whatever you want to call it, keeps going up,
and adding on these other 25%.
Exactly. Oh, if you throw derivatives on top of everybody, you're going to kill the industry. Like there's nobody who's going to survive that. I don't care who you are, how big you are, how small you are, how fiscally stable you are. If you throw a 25% derivative on top of all this, it's over. Everybody's going to pack up and go home.
40%, you're done. Yeah, you're done.
You can't do it. I mean, that's what, like we were talking about Taurus. That's what they're facing right now is the finished good thing in Brazil's 10%, but because they're bringing in component and raw material, that's a 25 because it's a derivative plus 10 because it's a component like that. It's a raw material component.
Yep. Yeah, Scott says I worked at a gun shop and his margin's like 3 to 5%. Yeah, like you get more than 5, you're probably doing pretty good. Let's just be honest.
Like when I ran a shop, your overall goal was to make a 30% margin was for the whole store, and that was not on guns. Like no, that was all. The accessories. Guns are the draw. Guns get you in the door. That's selling ammo and accessories and clothing and calls and tree stands and all this other stuff you make money on. It's just like a car. You sell the car, you don't make any money on it. You make it all on the back end.
So it's so funny. It's so funny that people don't realize this. Gas stations are very similar. The gas, they don't make a shit ton of money on the actual gas. The gas is the draw to get you to spend 5 to 10 minutes filling up your car while you go inside, buy your cigarettes, buy your sodas, buy your candies. That's where they make their money. Just like a theater. A theater might make $1 per person on that ticket. That's why you're seeing $5 fucking candies and all that stuff. That's where they make their money.
The best way to describe a gas station is that it's a convenience store.
Yes,
the prices are elevated because it's the convenience of it being there.
Yep. When it became more than a gas station is when they started making money.
I wanted to bring something up though.
Yeah, absolutely.
We keep talking about the tariffs and everything, and we talk about the long term. Like, I think that probably everybody sitting here on the panel and most people out in the side chat, we know what he's trying to do. Like, we see the long view of what's coming, but we also got to factor in, and we haven't really talked about this tonight. Maybe I'm dumb for bringing this up. We got to factor in, he's only got 3.5 years to do all this shit.
Shit, he's got a year because you're talking midterms coming up next year.
So I was going to bring that up. We got midterms. So we're already seeing some of his biggest supporters turning on him now.
Mm-hmm.
So if we just, let's not even talk about the tariffs right now. We could possibly, we're probably, and it's probably not even possibly, it's probably going to happen. We're going to lose the House. We're going to lose the Senate. We're probably going to lose the presidency in the next election. And we're going to go back to a full Democrats controlling everything. And then we're really fucked.
Yeah.
When it comes to what we normally do, talking about the Second Amendment, talking about, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's got a very short window to make this work. And let's face it, the majority of people are not going to see the long-term vision that he's got here. So we're going to lose everything anyway. So
that's a great take on it, because there are going to be people, and I mean, no offense, but let's take business out of this equation. There's going to be us as citizens that are going to lose a ton. If you're invested, you're screwed for a while. Like, don't invest right now. Or if you are, double down on it, because if you've got the money to double down, because it's going to tank for a little while. He's got a very short window to make this work. It probably doesn't look good for the midterms. It probably doesn't. No. Let's just be honest about that. The midterms, how much they're done.
Yeah, the hard negotiations have to happen in the next few months. Like, you got 90 days to make this really stand out, because the midterms are going to be rough if you don't get it handled. And that's the thing. Like, Chris is exactly right. Americans, us as a country, especially in the last 70 years, we don't do the long game well. We're very nearsighted. We don't think 5 years, 10 years. We think in cycles. We think in literally.
We think is what's our Walmart bill tomorrow going to look like? That's what we think about.
Yeah, we're fickle. We know it. That's just how America is. But the longest thing we look out to is like that next election cycle in 2 years. We don't look at that's the difference in China. China is very good at playing the long game. That's why they are where they're at in the world right now. Is they're thinking 100 years down the road. They're thinking. They're not looking at, it's going on right now, but we know in the long run what's going to happen. America has not done a very good job in generations now of playing the long game. We're going to do this for a little bit, then we're going to go do this for a little bit, we're going to do this for a little bit, and it has cost us, and this is why we're at where we're at.
Yeah, I think that the biggest problem we have as a country is we are so politically divided as a country. We're split politically, that neither side, whether it's the actual politicians or business or the citizenship, will listen to the other side anymore. And so it's kind of what Chris is saying, is this might be the best thing for us, is being fiscally conservative over the long game, right? This is what this is. This is fiscally conservative. It sounds crazy, but this is a very conservative fiscal move for the long game. What's going to happen is that the politics is going to play a role in this, and everyone's going to get pissed off at the short game, go vote Democrat, and expect it to change. Well, guess what? It ain't going to change. It's not going to change. There's certain things that have to happen in this country. That has to happen. And yes, it's going to hurt. It could hurt for 5 years, guys. It could hurt for a decade. It's going to have to happen no matter what political side that you lean. But we're so divided that as soon as one thing goes wrong that one side's doing, the other side takes advantage of. That's how you win elections, guys, is you show people the hard times in their life and you tell them who's to blame for it. That's how you win elections. So the Democratic Party right now is going, thank God Trump is doing this because the people are too dumb to see that this is the best thing for us. But right now we can win an election in 2 years because of this. That's what they're thinking. They're going to show you who's to blame for your hard times. They're not going to explain to you that 5 years down the road, it might be the best thing that ever happened.
Nah, exactly.
We'll see.
And that's exactly the message they're going to be pumping into everybody for the next year and a half.
That's
all you're going to hear is how terrible it is. Look at the stock market. Look at your 401k. Yep. Knowing full well that everybody understands who has the slightest financial sense about them that the current market conditions of the last several years of this country are not sustainable.
No.
Well, they were already on it today. I mean, most of the time I go in and out of 5 or 6 houses a day doing work, and everybody's got the news on. Yep. And that's all they did all day today. They talked about the stock market.
Yep.
They're already on it. I mean, they you know, that's the way Democrats are. I mean, they jump on it, and they're on it right now.
The one thing the Democrats are way better at than anybody is controlling the narrative. That is, they've been so good at that for the last 50 years, and
they control the airwaves.
Conservative side, the right side of the country have sucked at that. Have sucked at messaging for so long. Yep. Which is why Trump was able to come in the way he has both times, is because he understands how to grab a hold of that narrative and run with it. Is the Democrats do such a better job of messaging and really starting to pick it away and chip away at everybody and to get their point across, and they just hammer it home to that moderate kind of in the middle thinker.
I am not a Trumpster. I think everyone that knows me knows that. I'm not anti-Trump. I don't think he's a devil or the Antichrist. I'm just not a big fan of Trump as whatever. I do, however, believe that we need a businessman right now. And you can say what you want to about Donald Trump, and there's a lot to be said about Donald Trump. But his priority, first and foremost, is business, economy, and USA. So I have to believe that he's smart enough to understand the long game. He's smart enough to understand the immediate repercussions. And as a country, we can absorb those. I think we have to believe that he understands all this. I just hope to God that it doesn't take us down before it gets better. And that's my only worry is how bad is, we know it's going to get bad, but how bad is it going to get before it gets better? I don't know. I don't know if any of us know the answer. Was that what you wanted to talk about, Kyle? Do we get deep enough for you, homie?
Yeah, shit got deep, man.
God damn.
I'm as deep as a Buffalo Trace Rick house right now.
She deep.
I don't want to bring on the gloom and doom, the sky's falling, but I will say this. If you've ever thought about cash and gold and silver, this might be the time that gold and silver might be a priority in your investment portfolio. Just throwing it out there.
There's a reason the big boys are running into securities right now.
100%. There's a reason why. Gold and silver are going to, that might be something you look into. It's strange. I don't like getting this stuff, but this is something that I wanted to bring up because it's going to affect us personally with our jobs. Some of us might not have jobs in a year from now. I don't know. If the industry comes to a screaming halt, who knows? John's never going to say this, so I will. I will e-beg for him. If you are not a member of the GOA, or if your membership is getting ready to relapse, I know that, hey, $25 is going to mean a lot more to people than it has in years past. But John isn't going to do this, and I'm not going to ask him to do that because it is what it is. But I will say this. GOA is going to need all the help they can get to fight a lot of the stuff on the Hill. So if you are not a member of the GOA, please go and help them out. if your membership is getting ready to come up and you're like, man, I don't know if I can afford that $25, man, I get it. But if there is a way to absorb that $25, know that it's going to go towards a good cause, because the fight's going to happen. Whether we like it or not, the fight's going to happen in Washington. Chase has talked to a lot of agencies and departments over the last week. They don't know what's going on. So this is going to happen in Washington. So
the situation is so fluid that you can't really get a good straight answer to anybody at the moment, because
it's not that they're trying to not answer. They just don't know.
Like you start talking to, if you try to talk to Commerce or Customs or Department of State right now, they're all like, well, this is what it is right now, but things are changing.
Like on the hour, sometimes it's changing.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, all it does is take somebody to, piss him off at the moment. He's like, look at the back and forth with China is a great example of that. We went from a 25% tariff to a 104% tariff in 2.5 days.
Yep. And that might not be the end of it. Who knows? Let's just hope. We got to hope and pray that be positive in this, and know that companies like EAA, and I'm going to say this out there, the fact that you and Keith and Paul and all those that are making the decisions for EAA have had those meetings. I know you've been in a lot of meetings and you've been in a lot of phone calls, Chase, but the fact that y'all even thinking about absorbing some of this to not affect the consumer as much or the wholesalers as much means a lot. So if you're faithful to companies like that, be even more faithful, because they're going to take a hit so that you don't have to take as much of a hit. So find companies that are willing to do that, and those are the ones you be faithful. If you're going to buy guns from companies like the Andersons of the world, like the EAAs of the world, that have done everything they can to keep their prices lower for you guys.
That's what
mechanics. Yeah, go ahead.
No, you're 100% right. That's not just me speaking for me. It's like speaking industry-wide.
Absolutely.
It's people don't realize how the industry's big, but it's small. We all talk about that all the time. About everybody knows everybody. It's all small industry, and I mean we generally want to see everybody succeed, but most of the industry is small companies.
Yep.
The vast majority are small companies. They're family-owned or they're employee-owned businesses that survive. They get by. Everybody survives. Everybody does their thing. But when stuff gets really tight like this, like what we're talking about doing, or I'm sure a bunch of other companies are thinking about doing something along the same lines, that directly affects the small companies in the industry that have small crews. We all directly take a hit on that.
Yeah.
So it's not something we take lightly, but it's something we have to do to make sure that everything survives in the long run. I mean, I know Kyle, those guys, that's not it's a big operation, but it's not. Most of these companies out there, their employees most of these companies are 50 or less. A lot of them. We're 7 of us. We wear a lot of hats.
7 of you.
We do a lot, and people would be amazed at how many companies are like that are sub 20 employees.
Yeah.
So it's a tight knit group. That we all have to make sacrifices on our end to make sure everything keeps going. But that's the world we live in right now. But if you want to help the industry, support the local guys. Help the little guys. That's how this thing helps. I mean, look, the giant corporations, be them the retailers, be them whoever, they're going to survive by and large unless they make ridiculously terrible decisions. We all saw what happened to Gander, those types of things. But there's a lot of times the small guys, no matter what they do, they just can't survive the economic situations.
Can't do it.
No matter how hard they try, no matter what they do, the circumstances happen. So, if you've got that little shop in town that you really like the guys and they're awesome, they do great work, support those dudes, especially right now, because they need the help.
Yep. And the ripple effect is crazy. Supporting the local guys then helps support people like us in the wholesaler world, because if you buy the little guy stuff, they've got to replenish their stuff, so they come to us to replenish their stock. Well, then we had to go to the manufacturers and replenish our stock. The ripple effect is real. You're buying, it doesn't seem like it, but you're buying a gun at your local gun shop makes it all the way back to Chase or to Kyle or to Springfield or to wherever. That one gun, it sounds crazy, but that one gun helps feed 3 lines of that. I mean, 3 or multiple lines down that. It helps feed families. It doesn't sound like it does, but it does.
100% does. And that's how we turn around and, send money to John and groups like him. That's how the cycle rolls.
We stay alive. Yeah. That's the cycle. That's the circle of life in this industry. Yeah. Sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's 100%. You're correct. I mean, I don't necessarily. I mean, it ain't got to be the little small, like one dude, small hole in the wall place. The big local gun shops. I mean, they're in the exact same boat. They're still they're the local hub. They may be the local business. They may be the biggest one in the area, but they're still the little guy. They're not the big corporations they're competing against. Yep. It's the grassroots thing that makes us all go around.
Yeah, that's the thing is we talked about for years now that the big box stores are going to be the ones that end the local gun shops. And if there's ever a time to get the local gun shops a chance to fight right now, this is it. This is it. Support the local gun shops as much as you can. Go ahead, Kyle.
I hate to go off the beaten path here, but I just thought of something, Chase. Where the hell are we going to get patches now, dude?
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Snap.
Bro, I mean, trust me, I thought about that the other day. I was like, you think about all the merch this industry
I didn't even think about the merch. Holy shit. Yeah.
I mean, you think about what hats are going to cost to go up. You think about patches, T-shirts, all that stuff.
Fucking
even if
coasters.
It's American made. God,
yeah,
the coasters.
Coaster prices are going to be wild.
Coaster prices.
Wild.
Challenge coins. All that shit's raw. I mean, that shit's coming from overseas. We all know all that stuff.
And the stuff that's made here, it's still a lot of that stuff is still source components.
That's it.
Materials, textiles, polymers, whatever, from overseas.
Yep. It's going to be wild. It's going to be interesting to kind of see. A lot of us are nervous that are actually in the industry. I just retired and left a pretty nice career that I had going to take a chance on this industry, and shit, who knows? Who knows? I'm going to stay positive. I think it's going to be all right. I just think we just have to be ready to absorb. We just have to be ready. All of us have to absorb everything that we can.
I mean, there's ways to weather a storm like anything else. It's just it's going to be rough for a while. That's just all there is to it.
And it's not just the firearm industry, the car. I mean, everything.
Everything.
Industry in general is going to suffer.
Yes, 100%. I mean, the American-made cars, that's great. A lot of the components are sourced from overseas.
That's it. I love German cars. I love German cars. Fuck.
Oh, no.
Fuck. I don't see me getting and Yoko is getting ready to find her a new German vehicle, and I don't see that happening anytime soon. That's going to hurt.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Rough.
You never know. We'll see. All right, boys and girls, we've brought everyone down. The sky has not fallen completely, but the sun is setting for sure. We had to do it though. This was an important conversation because I don't think a lot of people are aware of what's going on, and if they are aware, they've heard about this tariff stuff, but maybe they don't understand how it affects not just our industry and our way of life, but how our life in general is. What the hell are y'all? Are y'all in Kokomo? What the hell? Oh yeah, tires. Shit. There ain't a tire made in America anymore. Let's just be honest. I want to bring in.
I don't want to talk about tires.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Thank God. Hey, thank God it happened last week, though. Let's just be honest.
Bro, between that and this madness, I'm done with it for a while.
Well, hell, Kyle had a tire issue today too. So fuck, it is what it is. I want to bring Matt in. I don't know if you're still, I mean, he's still here, but I don't know if he's available or to talk and all that. I do want to bring you in. I want to give you the floor for a little bit. Tell people what's going on with your channel. Where can they find you for the time being? And yeah, thanks for coming on, brother.
All right, there we go. I just got home. I actually set out to go eat dinner, and
I'm sorry, I fucked that up, didn't I?
I ended up on here, so I just got home. I've been listening, and with all this stuff about the tariffs and all this stuff, is probably a bad time to mention that. So Kyle knows about this, and Chris knows about this, that I just got an LLC and went and got my fingerprints done and passport photos done to get my FFL because I'm starting a retail firearms and accessory business.
Fantastic. I might know a guy that could be a distributor for you if you need any help.
Yeah.
We need to talk. I can hook.
So it's myself and another guy. We plan on doing just website for the first year and then going brick and mortar, but who knows what's going to happen at this point.
Yeah. You never know. Well, I mean, the best of luck. I mean, we'll all support you and do what we can to help you and all that. But I tell you what, if you can get through the first year or two of this new business, then you could be all right. He's got to get to the first year or two.
Yeah. So let me turn my fan off real quick.
I don't hear it. It doesn't sound bad. I don't hear it. So you're good.
All right. Other than that, you can find me at a very inactive channel this week.
Other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the theater?
so let me tell you about the last 3 weeks of my life real quick.
Yeah.
I lost my full-time job 3.5 weeks ago. And I talked to some YouTube guys and some guys in the YouTube industry area about kind of like, fuck it, I'm just going to go full on,
Sure. Yeah.
And then of course YouTube started doing this. Mm-hmm. And at the same time starting this business, and then the tariff thing hits. So basically the last month of my life has been about as stressful as it gets. Because now every source of my income has either gone away or is being threatened.
Yeah.
So for now, you can find me at RTT Guns and Gear on YouTube and Rumble, Instagram, things like that. I have a whole pile of videos that are coming out as soon as I'm able to post again, as well as some stuff from EAA. Just got a brand new, and I know what it is. Just got a box from Streamlight. I know what it is. It's their brand new rifle light. So there's a whole bunch of stuff coming in the very near future. That's about it.
Yeah, man. Like I said, we're pulling for you. If you can get through this first year, bro, I think it's going to be all right. Just understand you can have a lot of support. You're going to have a lot of support. You're going to have a lot of people that will support you when you open the business up just because they know you. And the cool thing, like I said, about this community is, you and I have met and we've hung out a little bit and had a good time, but we're not close. I mean, we haven't known each other that long.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the cool thing about this community is like I said before, man, it comes together when they can, and we all know each other either loosely or through other people. I don't get along with a lot of people because I don't like them, and but I would never turn my back on someone. Like, I don't like John Patton. I don't like Patton. Just what it is. I don't like him, but I'm never going to wish him ill. And if he had a problem, I'd go and help support him to what extent I could. People that I do know and do like Matt, absolutely. We're going to make sure that we all support you. So you're going to have a lot of support, whether you need it or not, or whether you want it or not. let us all know. I mean, I'll start sending you links if you feel like you ever want to jump in. You don't have to jump in every week, but if you want to, kind of give us an update on the new business and tell people where they can shop and all that when it happens. So yeah, I'm all for that.
And I do appreciate that, man. Seriously.
I'm an asshole, but I'm not a terrible asshole. You know?
But it's one of those things where we're probably pulling the trigger on it this week to start getting the website built and hopefully up and running in 2 weeks on the website, and then a couple months by the time the FFL comes through.
You and I need to talk, because I might be able to help you in some stuff. We'll talk after the show's over if you got 2 seconds. So yeah, man, just keep us in touch. Keep us informed what's going on. If you get another strike or whatever, there's people that can help. Clover's a great, as much as I hate giving him credit, Clover is a pretty good resource that can help on the YouTube shit. But you got a lot of people in the industry and people that know people that are willing to help. So don't ever feel like you can't ask people for help. I think you're going to find that this community is pretty awesome about helping. So yeah, Christopher, what's going on in Ohio, brother?
Not a whole lot. I don't have much. I got a few more videos in the tank that I'll be releasing over the next few weeks, but I have not been creating any content, and I don't know if I'm going to be drinking. You've been
drinking at tiki bars in Florida, dude. What the hell are you talking about? That's true.
Yeah. So I don't really have anything coming up, but I do want to kind of go back to what you said earlier about supporting the GOA, and we're talking about $25 for the year or whatever. It's a box of ammo, so
yeah,
sacrifice one box of ammo, get over there and support the GOA. I mean, I'm a member of NRA and FPC and NAGR. I've been a member of all of them, but I mean, let's face it, the GOA has really, let's go back to the pistol brace thing. I mean, they've been fighting for us on everything. So, sacrifice that one box of ammo and join the GOA. That's what I got for tonight.
Absolutely. Chastifer, man, time will tell.
Time will tell, bud. That's all we can do.
Yep. That's all we can do. Thanks for coming in. And once again, he won't say it, so I'll say it for him. There's other companies that are going to do this, but in the next short term, do your research on the companies that you're planning on supporting and buying guns from. Find out. It won't be that difficult. You'll be able to see it, but EAA going to absorb some of that hurt for you. Go support companies that are trying to help you guys out as well. Go check out eacorp.com. Kyle, bring you in. Kyle, Anderson's another one. Anderson's, man, talking about USA born, bred, and all that. Man, you guys do so much for this industry that people don't realize. Like, literally, people don't realize what half your business is. But yeah, thank you for all Anderson does, and I hope that it doesn't affect you guys as much either.
Shit, yeah, kind of the same thing Chris and everybody's been talking about, like support GOA. Like that's really join GOA and pay attention to their emails and write your congressman when you need to and all that fun stuff. Takes all of what, John, like 7 seconds to click 3 seconds. So
30 seconds.
Sorry. 30 seconds. Damn. Okay. I was close.
That's what she said. So
30 seconds in a cloud of dust, old bub.
Yeah, baby. Best 30 seconds of your life.
But if you're heading down the ATL at the end of the month for NRAM, we're in 1544. Come by, check us out.
Check out the Castle Couch, baby.
Yeah, we got an unorthodox approach going down this year.
It's awesome. It's gonna be amazing. I think it's gonna be. Honestly, I think it's gonna be game changing, and I know why. But it's gonna be game changing. I think it's gonna open people's eyes and say, "Damn, go check out Anderson's booth. It's gonna be well worth it for you." And you can, Kyle, I love you, man. Thank you for coming on as always, brother.
Hey, thanks for having me, Trey. And if you do stop by the booth, you can get one of probably Anderson's last patches because we can't freaking import patches now. So,
or they won't be given away very much longer, will they?
Oh yeah, not at the price we get them.
Yeah, our patch deals are gone, bud.
Yeah, our patch deals are over.
You'll have patches, but you might not be giving them away very long.
No, dog. Hey, I'm gonna need $5 for that.
I mean, it's what it is. It is what it is. Before I bring Ginger in, I will say this, and yes, we are all very proud members of the GOA and very much supportive of the GOA, even before Ginger worked for them. But having John there does help. But I want to say this also. It's not just a GOA. It is FPC. It is, I don't support the NRA anymore. Maybe I will one day, but NRA is still effective. Gunners of America, Second Amendment Foundation. I mean, there's a lot of them. Anyone that's doing good work, they need your help right now. So, I mean, if you've got, it sounds weird, and I know it sounds weird. If you got $100, it sounds like a lot for some people, but $100 over a year, right? Isn't that much to budget? $100 will get you to memberships into pretty much all of these, and everyone needs your help right now. If you can budget $100 for a year, it's going to get you FPC, GOA, Second Amendment Foundation, like all of them that need your help. $100 will get you into all of those. So do what you can. If you go and pick one, pick the one that's going to affect you the most, right? Depends on what you're looking for. They all do great work. They all do different work, right? FPC, SAF, and GOA, they're all in the same battle, but they're fighting different battles. They're all in the same war, but they're fighting different battles, right? Pick which battle calls your name the most, but affect change by getting involved in the fight somehow, right? That's by buying guns, buying ammo, buying accessories, and joining memberships to these wonderful organizations. Ginger, bring you in. Obviously, talk GOA. If you want to talk FLR, feel free to do that as well.
Well, I will be sad that I'm not going to NRAM this year, so I'll miss all of you. I feel bad.
Thank God. I'm sorry. So sad.
Thank God. I don't want to go to Atlanta, so that's what I made a decision. Kaylee will be there.
Trust me, I get it.
Kaylee's gonna be there, so you see her say
Kaylee, it's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, we're fine with that. She's more fun anyways.
I believe it. Yeah, like everybody said, it's only $25 to be a GOA member. It gets you into Goals for free, which is coming up August 9th and 10th in Knoxville, Tennessee.
What is this Goals?
Wow. Goals is the gun.
Hey, Kyle, that means our booths are free.
Oh, snap.
Hey.
Nope. Nice try.
He's like, yeah, our import fees are going to go. He's going to make you guys pay double for your tariff to the GOA Goals.
But yeah, we've got Gun Owners Advocacy and Leadership Summit happening August 9th and 10th in Knoxville, Tennessee. Go see all these amazing companies that we've mentioned there in Knoxville. Tickets are available. They are free to GOA members. If you are in Phoenix or north of Phoenix this weekend and going to CanCon, feel free to swing by and say hi. I'll be at CanCon all weekend.
You could be at the booth or you'd be walking around.
Both.
Okay.
It'll be both. So I'll be at CanCon, so stop by, say hi, say what's up.
Matt, are you going to be at CanCon?
I thought that was last weekend.
I guess not.
Yeah, I thought CanCon was what was last weekend, John?
Fishing game?
No, there was something at what range is that? At
Ben Avery.
Ben Avery, yeah, at Ben Avery last week that I know like Radical Firearms was at, and
there was 3 events up at Ben Avery in a row. There was some sort of suppressor event up at Ben Avery that wasn't CanCon.
Okay,
I can't remember the name of that one.
That's the one it was. I thought that was CanCon.
Yeah, there was that one. It's like a new one that started popping up, and then there's CanCon this weekend, and then last weekend was Arizona Game and Fish
Yeah.
Expo.
That was a party.
So I may, because with this thing with YouTube, it's not like I'm posting videos this week, so I have a better backlog than I would have. So I may be able to take the time to go to CanCon.
I love how you turned a piece of shit into some silver. I love it, man.
It's either that or cry about it. One of the two.
I'm all about turning shit into silver, baby. I'm all about that. Scott wants to know, John, are you going to buy him dinner if he goes to Goals? It's going to be his birthday month. You buying him dinner?
I will buy him.
Will you take him to glow in the dark putt putt? More importantly,
no, we play on the hill putt putt in Hillbilly Golf in Knoxville.
No, he will give him the wrong time for dinner in the tower. Is what he'll do.
Hey, I got the right time. Johnny, my boy.
I'm kind of glad we missed that.
Yeah. John just didn't love us enough to tell us for real.
Yeah.
But we lucked out.
Anyways, we love you. John.
I told you the time because Kyle, if I told you the time, I told Kyle the time, and Kyle understood the assignment.
You didn't tell me the time. You told me 7.
You told him a time. Was it the time?
Yeah, you wasn't the correct time.
Listen, Goals was like a blur, and I was running around like a crazy person. So I told you something. I don't remember.
Hey, by the way, Chase, are you bringing a rain jacket for dinner this year?
I really need to. I'm gonna bring a big poncho. It'd be fun.
You need to bring a big poncho for dinner if we go back to that same spot.
I've got my offshore wet weather gear. I'll just show up in that, like full on Grundens. Just
that's what you gotta do.
There we go.
He had a tray full of sodas poured on. It was beautiful. Anyway, sorry, John. Go ahead.
Anyways, and then FLR, we've got a video coming out next Tuesday. We might have a video coming out this week, but we've got a video for sure coming out next Tuesday.
Okay.
Sure, rub it in, John.
Well, you might have one next Tuesday.
Listen. I had some weird thing happen to my channel too. All my viewers disappeared.
What, you had subscribers happen to you? Oh.
All 2,200 of them. Yeah, I went from averaging 6,000 to 7,000 views a video down to like 1,500. I don't know what the hell happened.
I put myself in a self-imposed strike. I haven't posted a video, I think, since before SHOT. So I've struck myself.
Yeah, I don't see a lot of you guys' videos on my feed anymore, John. I gotta
I don't either.
Keep them out.
I don't either. I don't get notifications.
Do they think you don't exist or something? Like, do they think you're not real because you're a ginger in Arizona? They're like, this can't be real. Like, this is fake.
That's a whole illusion. I haven't actually been on the channel the entire time. It's just Kurt and a puppet.
It's accurate.
I wasn't gonna.
Just Kurt with his hand up somebody's ass talking.
Just saying, it's a redheaded puppet. I'm just saying.
There we go.
Oh,
John does like talking out of his ass, so you know.
Speaking of Kurt, can I give Kurt a plug? Because Kurt,
I was gonna say, please give Kurt a plug.
Kurt officially announced. Yeah, Kurt officially announced today that he is the owner of TCRT Targets, and
I did see that. Yay!
So he is the official. Go support TCRT Target. FLR 10 will save you 10% off. We can get codes for the rest of you, but FLR 10 will save you 10% off. And we are coming up with a naming convention for TCRT at Goal. So we're trying to figure out what TCRT is. And right now it is Touch Kurt right there. That is the one that we love. That's the one we want
to. Speaking of patches, that
has to happen.
It has to happen. That has.
I told him
I don't care what it really is ever going to be. It will always be Touch Kurt right there from now on. That's it.
So I told Kurt for
he
Goals
has to wear a TCRT target as like a loincloth around Goals from now on, and it has to say Touch Kurt right there.
That's it.
No, what I told him was to make a Touch Kurt right there patch and stick it to his butt, and only people who know about the patch has to go up and grab it off of him to get it.
100%. Absolutely.
Yeah. He's got some fun things planned, but the other one that came up was like Taco something recovery team. It was
Touch
Taco
Kurt right there.
I don't care
what there. It's always from now on. It will always be Touch Kurt right there, no matter what.
Yeah.
Don't care.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it. Guys, thank you so much for coming and watching this fiasco. If you're watching this in replay or podcast where most of it happens, then we do invite you to join the live video studio audience. Cool people out here. If you're looking for like-minded people, come and join the madness. But thank you guys for watching and listening. We do appreciate you. Go check out our sponsors, HRT Tactical and Valiant Dynamics. Go check them out. Tell them Ghost sent you. Most importantly, guys, get to the, well, before I do that, I want to say this. Be a good fucking human being, please. If you see someone struggling in life, even if you don't know them, if someone looks like they might be alone, they might be struggling, the most powerful word that you could ever say to somebody is hello. Do not be afraid to say hello. You might be the only person they talk to all day, and that one word could get them to tomorrow. Be a good fucking human being, please. I'm tired of the bullshit. Be a good human being. There's a lot of people in pain right now and need all the help we can get. Get to the range. Be more proficient with your firearms. Keep in touch what's going on with your local, state, and federal with the 2A stuff. Most importantly, enjoy your freedoms of being American, one of which is to keep and bear arms. We'll see you next week. Semper Fi.